Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of This and That. And I'm your host, Mr. 357. And my guest today, introduce yourself, sir.
This is Zae The Motherfucking Assassin. I'm the GEW World Heavyweight Champion and the GEW Billion Dollar Champion. And just
Here first. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me give you a better introduction. How's this? Let's hear this. Because a lot of people don't understand, by the way. Before we get it started, this is my man's. This is like my brother from another mother right here. Zae The Assassin.
yes, sir.
So, let me introduce you the right way. My guest today, he is the 3-time and reigning GEW Billion Dollar Champion. He is also a 2-time and reigning World Heavyweight Champion of the GEW community, Zae the Motherfucking Assassin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on the show, my
Thank
brother.
you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to actually have the champ in the building, brother. Like this is a long anticipated one. So
Gotta save the best for last, I mean.
Save the best for last. There's a lot of people I still haven't gotten to interview, but we'll get to that. So, how's everything, bro? Everything good?
Yes, sir. Everything's great, just maintaining, doing what I gotta do, Just keep fighting for my title, holding that up. I got my own little show going, Fight Club.
Shout out to the Fight Club.
Yes, sir.
AEW Fight Club. The show tonight was dope, by the way.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
You.
Go check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, you got anybody that want to watch the show, you could just look me up, Zae The Assassin, on YouTube. You could find out. You could see Fight Club. If not, just look up GEW Fight Club on Facebook. There'll be I'll post things up there, and you get to see a good show. Mostly that show is it's not really based on storylines. It's just based on kicking motherfuckers' asses. You talk shit, you get what you get. You want to talk, you want to fight, you want to talk all the smack. I put you in the ring.
Yeah, I love that.
And handle what you gotta handle. Because if not, you're just gonna come up short.
You're just another bum.
Basically.
That's a fact. I love it. So let's talk, now that you're talking about the wrestling and Efed thing, because this whole season 1 is based, this is based upon Efed gaming. Mainly I'm interviewing you guys from the GW community. I do have people that I've interviewed before that have their own Efeds besides GW, and they gave a shout out to theirs. So shout out to Princess Alicia for being one of them.
Yes, shout out to Princess Alicia.
Representing. That's right. She's representing the GW movement, and she represents her own movement, which is WSW. Shout out to WSW, the entire roster.
Shout out.
Yeah, man. And fucking, so GW, right? How do you like this whole Efed movement? So you just a part of GW only, or you're part of any other Efeds, or what's going on
I'm
with that?
that type of person. Loyalty is the best policy for me. So, I run with one and I stay with one. I'm not I don't hop around. I don't share my stuff with anybody. I just keep it to my family. That's basically how I am. Basically, apparently, you probably spoke about it in many other shows. How GW started and everything. So, I grew up with A Dot. Me and A Dot. Excuse me. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We grew up
That's a
since we
fact.
grew up since children.
Yeah, 25 plus
Yeah,
years.
just about. He hello. Yo.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm listening. I'm here,
Yeah.
brother.
No,
Go
because
ahead.
it cut off. My bad. So yeah, we grew up. We grew up young and everything. We played sports, manhunt, all that. Um, and then he
Shout out to A. Jizzle
yes
for
yes
sure.
sir, and then
Yep,
he had the movement with his daughter, and his daughter wanted to do this wrestling shit. So we me and you grow up. We grew up watching wrestling. I grew up fucking in love with wrestling. My dad,
that's a
my
fact.
dad.
We were neighbors.
Yes, sir. My dad
Yep.
introduced me to wrestling. As as young as I could remember. And he taught me about all the old school wrestlers. Bringing it back to Hillbilly Jim, the Killer Bees. You know,
Wow,
um,
the '80s.
yeah, the '80s wrestling all the way back to like the '60s to the '70s. Bruno San Martino. Um, I could just keep spitting, names and shit. So I remember when it was, WWE or WF. My bad. It was World No, it was Worldwide
Well,
Wrestling Federation. You know, when
right.
Vincent Man's father was running the show. So
Damn, that throwback.
yeah,
Your dad's a OG,
yeah.
OG.
So he
Shout out to your pops, man. Shout out to Tony, man. I know him personally too. Hell of a man. Go
yes
ahead.
sir. So it was just in my blood, and I always wanted to be a wrestler. But the paths that we took in our lives, we we're from Brooklyn. We didn't do that. We just wanted to
Smoke
we just
weed,
wanted to
hang out, and all that shit.
smoke weed, hang out, and fuck bitches. To be honestly blunt with everybody.
Yeah, that's you could talk like that because that's how we do it. Yep, that's a
This
fact.
is this and that. So shout out to TNT, shout out to Mister 357. Um,
Shout out to the show, this and that. You
you
already
know,
know. Good looking.
so it was just a matter of time because I stopped watching wrestling like years, like you could say like throughout my 20s, like from like probably from like 18 to like 26. I stopped watching wrestling, and I didn't have the passion for it anymore because my
Right.
my
I remember that too. I lost the passion for it
yeah,
too.
now
You're right.
because one of my main, my main one of my main brothers, he passed away. R.I.P. to J Dub. That's my sister in law's brother, but
Yeah.
he loved wrestling,
Yeah.
so we
Shout out to Joey, man.
yeah.
Rest in peace.
So we used to wrestle in his crib and everything, and we had titles and all that, and you know once you step foot in that crib, it was like the match was on automatically. So you was already
Yeah, yeah. It was like a hardcore title, the official hardcore
yeah.
title, when you had to defend it every time you saw somebody. 24/7 type
Yeah,
shit.
basically. So, once he passed away, I kind of lost the passion. I was just like, you know what? And then wrestling got watered down. So that was,
You're right.
you know,
That's the reason I stopped watching it because I felt like it wasn't the same anymore. Once to me, I stopped watching it when Vince bought off WCW, ECW. They had that whole alliance bullshit, and they moved into the aggression era where everything was like. I put it like this, right? When like you were saying when your pops put you on to wrestling to the old school shit like the '80s, that was the big guys. Like the big guys, they dominated the wrestling. So the bigger you were and strong, the more you dominated. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Then like the Attitude Era for us, it didn't have that. It had a mixture of like some greats like Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and that's what started the Attitude Era. Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is my favorite wrestler of all time, but like I get what you're saying. So like when they did that whole alliance bullshit, the aggression era came in. They had the John Cena's, the Brock Lesnar's. That to me that was watered down because I remember seeing Brock Lesnar take chair shots after chair shots, and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna knock this nigga out with a chair shot? Like, come on now, like
That-
what is
it,
this? So
I was watching the Brock Lesnar, but I remember when Brock Lesnar was an animal, and during
animal,
the aggression era,
20s
when he got a chair shot to the head, and the whole chair bent in, and then
bent.
and
Yep.
then he grabbed Jeff Hardy and fucking slammed him and almost killed the guy, and that was the time
Yep.
that I liked, that was the East, that was the wrestling that I loved. Like I was just like this shit ain't fake because
Yeah.
you can't do this shit to somebody in the street. You power listen, I don't care how they say wrestling is fake. Yes it is. It's to me
It's fake
it's not
storylines. Storylines is fake.
it's scripted, and these moves
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and these moves, of course, you're not going to take a full brunt of a backflip on top of somebody, and
Of course not. Of course.
there's
And it's like not to cut you off, but you're right about that because if you remember closely in the Attitude Era, you remember Draws?
yes, sir.
He was like one of
Shout out,
the
shout
he
out,
was one of the
shout.
Legion of
No,
Doom.
he was a headbanger. Shout out to Drugs.
Right, right, right. There you go. So I remember he took a power bomb, but by like D'Lo Brown or somebody, and
Yeah, he
they
did.
crippled him.
He gave him the Delo driver, and he broke his
Yeah,
neck. And now,
he broke
and the
his
man
neck.
was in. He
Crazy.
was a vet. He was a quadriplegic. Basically, he was paralyzed from the neck down. You know.
Yep, yep.
So
He's still alive too, and he says that like he doesn't see it as a he doesn't see it like he has any grudge against D'Lo. I mean, it was just like he took the move the wrong way. He didn't fall right, and it happens. Like you can get hurt, man. The same thing with basketball. Same thing with football. Like you take one wrong hit, you get
listen,
one wrong move. Of course,
when you get into wrestling, you basically set yourself up. Like if something's bound to happen, it's bound to happen. There's a lot of wrestlers that other wrestlers don't like to wrestle with because they're reckless in the ring.
that's
You can
correct.
do so much to prevent it, but you can't. It's gonna happen. Like life is inevitable. If it's your time, it's your time. So like I said, the attitude era with me was when like I'm against men beating on women, but in wrestling, to me it's cool. Like you want to act tough, you want to get
Yeah,
crazy, you want to get power bombed through a fucking table. You know,
yeah. Like May Young did,
yeah, like Mae
right?
Young, like when Lita, when fucking I was actually watching the show of it was a TLC match. It was Christian and Edge versus the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Brothers,
Oh yeah, I
and
remember that.
fucking
They made the tag team division more spectacular
yeah,
than what it was at the time.
of course, and they made extreme extreme. Fucking
Yep, hundred
Edge
percent.
speared the shit out of Lita, and Lita fucking hit her head on the fucking ladder, like, and you seen that she was hurt.
You
You
see it,
seen
yeah.
that she
I
was
remember
hurt,
that.
and Edge corralled her, and like went over, probably said like, "Yo, I'm sorry," or "Are you okay?" But that was part of the whole
It's
thing.
part of the show. Yeah, it was part of the
That's what
show.
made me love wrestling. And then so like just bringing it back to like how I got the feeling back. I started watching wrestling again, with actually with my sister-in-laws, and you know we started watching the pay-per-views and shit like that, and I was like, yo, I fucking missed this shit. So then I got back into
Right.
it, and I love this watered down shit now. It's like it just brought me back. So I'm like, like this shit is great. And then
I'm not
I went to fucking I went to a couple of
live
yeah,
events.
I went, where did I go? I went to SummerSlam because my sister-in-law
Oh,
she
fire.
bought me tickets for my birthday. We went to SummerSlam and we had fucking crazy banging seats, and it was in the
Awesome.
Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Shout out to the Nets. Um,
Shout out to the Nets.
yeah,
Yep.
it was and bro, it was fucking amazing. Like Roman Reigns came out, everybody was booing him before he came out. But then at the end of the show, he did like when going towards the end, he gave the dude the Superman punch, and then he went into the corner and he went like he was charging up, and he just said, "Ooh, ah!" The whole
The whole crowd.
fucking the whole Barclays Center screamed that shit.
That's fire.
Even the people that hated him, fucking loved him right there. And it
Of
was and it was,
course. It's like, dude, it's like when you see stuff like this in person, like, shout out to you for that, man, because, shout out to your sister in laws for putting you on. But tell you the truth, man, like, he grew on me, Roman Rage. So, like, if I was to see him in a live show, I'll go crazy. I'll be like, yeah, like on some, like, let's fucking go. And, like, it's like wrestling died to me in like 2006, around there, around that time. Like you said, that we stopped watching wrestling at the same time. When you stop watching it, I stopped watching it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like you said, it was watered down, right? And when I saw that watered down shit, I was like, yo, come on, man, this is like more for kids, which I understand because at that time there was a lot of like sick kids. Shout out to everybody like who has kids that dealing with illnesses and stuff like that,
So,
man. Because the wrestling, like it became for those kids. You get what I'm saying? Like the wrestling for us, like we used to see titties and we used to see like fucking
yeah,
sucking
yeah.
and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like that was wrestling to us, right? And they switched that whole thing around. That's why we call it watered down because it got predictable, and not only did it get predictable, but like it got for the kids, which I understand. So we grew out of it, but now they bringing it back where it's like, oh shit, it's fun to watch again. You get what I'm saying? And like you said, like talking about the question I asked you earlier. So since you wanted to be a wrestler so bad when you were a kid, like apparently we chose different paths in life to do what we do now. But if you had the chance to to make that wrestling thing come to life for you being a wrestler, you found it in these Efed's virtual reality world that made you relive your dream again and made you feel like now I'm actually a real wrestler. This is what I wanted to do when I was growing up. Is that the feeling you get, or is it like a different feeling? How's the being in the Efed world described? Like
It's the
the
fucking
feeling
best
for you?
feeling, bro. Like, like in matches that I'm having, like I'm sitting down in my chair, in my chair, and I'm fucking watching this, and my anxiety levels are going through the roof. Like I'm seeing
It's like
my dude,
you're really
yeah,
there.
I'm seeing my dude get his ass kicked, and I'm like, come on, what the fuck? Like
Get
I'm
up,
losing my
get
head.
up.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, get up. And like
Yeah,
when I win, I'm like, I fucking get up, I pace. Sometimes I go into the bathroom, I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to wake up my wife or my son,
of
you know.
course, of
So
course. Shout out to your wife and your kid too, by
you
the
know,
way.
so it's like I'm up, this shit is crazy, and I'm the motherfucking champion right now, like
You are.
and
You're a two-time world heavyweight
the
champion.
shit is with this is that it's not staged. Like it's not gimmick
Right,
wise. Like you're gonna be the champion for a couple months, then you know what, we're gonna switch it up, and then you're gonna be the champion. No, it's not like that. It's
right,
computer
right.
versus
You
computer.
gotta earn it.
It's computer versus
Yeah.
computer, and the whole EFED shit is like, if it happens, it happens. There's sometimes that I lose, and I'm like, yo, how the fuck did I lose to this dude? This dude is ass.
Yeah.
You know,
He's a bum.
you know, you're
I know.
like, how the fuck is that? But
I know.
it just happens. And you know I'm a very passionate person, so I'm very competitive. I grew up competitive, so to me, I can't never lose because I need to win. You know, and of course,
Well, you do have brothers in real life, and you have a lot of male cousins and stuff that you grew up with.
yeah.
A lot of guy friends too that made you the competitor that you are today.
Oh,
So
of
I
course,
get what you're
like
saying with that.
I gotta give it my all. Like I gotta give it my all and everything.
You got to be the best. If not, you don't want to be second place. First place is the winner. Second place is not a winner.
Second place,
That's how you feel about it, right?
in all actuality, second place is the first loser. But like
It makes
we gotta
sense.
teach the kids.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
We
Yep.
got to teach the kids that losing is okay to it's okay to lose, because when you lose,
That's another thing. Now that you say that, when it comes to the kids, right? So your son is heavy on this EFED movement too. Like your son is into this the way you were into it, or like
yeah,
because
my son right now, he likes it. You know,
right,
he's still a kid, so he likes doing his own thing. But when it comes on, he's all for it.
he's all
He
for
has
it.
his favorite
Fire.
wrestler. He's actually in the game. Shout out to Bubba Watson. You know,
Shout out to Bubba Watson for sure.
he's
Yeah,
technically right now one of the youngest champions. He was a former YouTube champion, which is now the multimedia champion. He held that belt,
yeah.
and he
They unified the
and
belts.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he actually held it for a couple weeks. And he fought a hell of a wrestler. But now he's fighting in Fight Club, and he's fucking dominating. Like, it's just like the shit that he does is crazy. Not just because he's my
so,
son, but he's just a hell of a
but you gotta call a spade a spade. If your son is kicking ass, even if he wasn't your son and he was somebody else's son, and he was out there doing what he's doing, you'll still give him the same props, right?
of course, because
One hundred
look,
percent. That's fire.
you got Mello and Juju, the Spicy's kids,
Shout out to Bello and Juju. Yep.
the ninjas. Those they were
Shout out
on
to
a tear.
Spicy.
They were on a tear for what, excuse me, a couple of months. You know, there were tag teams that didn't get beat. They didn't get pinned. They lost on
I
technicality.
think they probably lost like one official match that they actually got pinned in, and other than that, like you said, man, they haven't really lost. If they lost matches, it was because they were like triple threat tag teams and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and they didn't get pinned.
it
But
was never really.
technically, they
It
only
was
got
never
lost
really. Yeah,
once. Like,
well, they lost because it was a tag versus tag. It was them against another team. That's when they lost. But
right,
technically, they never really lost in a singles match prior to that time. You know, like any other time before that, they were always in like a triple threat match. They were in like a ladder match and things like that. You
of
know,
course, of course, and you can see,
losing is losing, but you know what? There's technicalities to this. So you know, like it's you got to give credit when credit's due. You know, like
of
if they
course,
showed out,
100%.
they show out and they whip ass every day. You know, those kids are fucking awesome with their moves and
Yeah, they
shit.
are. Shout out, like I said again, man. Shout out to the young guns, man. Mello
Um,
and Juju, ninjas.
who
These
fought
kids are,
yesterday?
are
Who's the
badass.
blue one? That's Mello, right?
Mello's the
Yeah,
blue. Juju's, I believe, is yellow or
Mello
green.
fought
I think
Mello
it's
fought yesterday on
yeah,
Brutality Thursday. That fucking kid showed out. I was
yeah,
going
he
for
did.
him. I was like, yo, I was rooting for him. Like, let's go Mello. Not just because he's a
That, and that
kid,
was and
and
that's
not just because
and
you
that's
know
another thing I was gonna ask you. And that's another thing I was gonna ask you. Like, how do you feel about these kids that watch the show, just like your son? Like, there's multiple kids in there, not only just Juju, Mello, Bubba. Um, it's 787 also. There's a couple kids in
you
there.
got Jaji
How
the
do you
Light,
feel about the kids? Jaji Delight also. Shout out to Jaji Delight, Prince Fresh Prince's son.
Shaky Peace
Like those
kids,
kids.
like that. That's awesome,
That's right,
man.
the brother Grimms. That's correct.
That's
Like that's awesome.
that's
Like how do you feel? How do you feel about them rooting for you and booing you? Because you are I'm gonna say clearly in the air. Like I've said it before. You're on my Mount Rushmore. You're also one of my top fives, along with Caleb Hopkins. It doesn't matter the order that you guys are in, but you guys are there. Um, how do you feel about the kids booing you? Like when you see like Mello and Juju, like Zay sucks, or when you see like the Grimms,
yeah.
like Shaky P kids, like he sucks, but you're the world champ and you've won literally 7 title defenses in a row. Like you're not a punk. Like a lot of motherfuckers be thinking you a fucking like you're a joke. You get what I'm saying? Like
The,
y'all niggas better
the,
acknowledge that tribal
the
chief.
only
This is your tribal chief
yeah,
right
the
here.
only reason why probably people think I'm a slouch was because of the fights that I had prior to my reign. Right now, um, I did get like power bombed and I got pinned by DBD. You know, he beat me. It was a, I think it was a
Probably like 30 seconds,
no,
40
it
seconds the
was like a
most.
3-man tag, and DBD we got into the ring. Me and him were fighting, and I think he power bombed me or something like that, and pinned me, and I lost, and the match was over. That was the quickest fight,
That
but that was just a different. That was a different day. I
you
didn't really work on him, you know, not like
right. So
and
you felt from that Zay to the Zay that we have now. There's the world heavyweight champion. What's the difference between that Zay and this Zay that we seeing right now?
I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. My name is my name.
No cap.
No cap.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Yeah. Like you don't care if they boo you, and you don't care that you're not like a big sensational like star to everybody's eyes. Like you're not like a megastar, which you should be because you one of the day one guys. Not only are you one of the day one guys, but you're a fucking two-belt champion. You're a three-time billion-dollar champion and reigning billion-dollar champion. You're also a two-time world heavyweight champion and reigning world heavyweight champion. So like,
What it is that
if they don't like
what it
if they don't like you, they hating
what it nah,
basically.
not even that. People feel what they can't beat.
You
So
heard it here
so
first.
you know,
Yep,
you don't gotta like me, but you gotta respect me. You don't have to show me the respect, but in the back of your mind, you got that respect for me. Because you know what? At
you
the
have
end of
to.
the day,
Yep,
I prove in and out, win or lose, I show up and I show out. And I've been proven to the GW community day in and day out that I'm in that ring. I put on a fucking show and I close out the show. So when
facts.
I come in and I fight,
You're the main event. You're the big
even if
deal.
I'm not the main event, when I come in, I fight, you know, and I defend my title. I'm leaving with my title, no matter how much. Sometimes I watch these matches and I'm like, I'm done. Then all of a sudden
I'm done.
I get a fucking rocket up my ass, no homo, and wang, I'm a winner.
Pause. Yeah,
You
I
know,
got you. I know what you meant though. Yeah,
like
but it, that's another thing I was gonna ask you. So like, what's next? Since you're already in the top of the mountain. Like technically, when if there's a mountain to be climbed, you're there, and you're like you're sitting on the throne that everybody wants. Because you know my character that I play in there, DBD, he wants that throne. Everybody else that's been with us, joined from the beginning, want the throne. People who came after us want the throne. What's next for you, Zae the Assassin, as world champion? And even if you lose the belt, what is next? Like, do you want to like maybe try to get it back if you ever do lose it? Which I'm not saying you are anytime soon because it doesn't look like it by the way it is going. But if you do lose it, would you want it to return back home and you want to conquer it until the
well,
new game
I
comes out
haven't
for the EFED, or you
I
wanna?
haven't hit my peak yet. I still think that
Ooh,
I'm midway. What I want to do,
oh, so this is not even full
what
Zay
I
yet.
want to do is I want to conquer every belt. I want to own every belt so I can have it in my shelf looking. I look, I got that one, I got that one, I got that one, and I got that one. And I got that
But
bad.
you got the biggest prize of them all right now. So you still feel
Of
that way,
course.
or you?
Of course.
Oh, okay,
Of course.
okay.
What's a king? Listen,
Well,
what's a king? What's a king that a king? What do you call a king that doesn't have everything? He's not really a king.
that's correct. That's
I
correct.
want to be the king.
And you know what they say too. A man who decide because I never heard it from you anyway. But any man that says he's king is no real king. That's what they say. You get what I'm saying? Not that you say that because
I'm not a king. I'm a monster.
you're not you're a monster, right? Because you're not a cocky champion. You get what I'm saying? You know what you can do. You know what you're about, and everybody who challenges you, I look at it like, yo, either you guys are challenging him or you guys are running from him. You get what I'm saying? Because for some reason they could say a lot of shit about this and that. Shout out to the show, this and that. They could say a lot of shit about Zay. They could say this and that about Zay and this, but right, but why they don't step up? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not scared to fight nobody. You said it to the boss before too. Shout out to A. Jizzle again, because you done told A. Jizzle in front of me, in front of everybody, like, hey man, let's get it. I fight anybody, title or not. You know what I mean? And shit,
You know,
that's coming from a champ. That's real deal shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like, you
I'm
know,
not. I'm not afraid to put my belt on the line for anything. You know, but we follow storylines in the show, so
that's
the
correct.
storylines have
That's
to get
correct.
followed, and if you give somebody an opportunity for a storyline, you have to give them the opportunity because it isn't fair.
That's
I
right.
could fight, let's say tomorrow, and lose my belt, and then bang, now I got a storyline with this certain person. Now that storyline is gonna go to
Right.
shit because now I ain't got the belt no more. So now that story, like, you know, and I still owe who is it, Sergeant General and ass whipping, another one on top of the one that I gave him. I gotta give him
Well,
one more. But
last I checked, A. Doesn't really like care much about the general
okay,
because they die. He's a fair dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say shout out to him, man. Because yo, at the end of the day, he put this whole thing together for his daughter because the love that his daughter has for wrestling and the love that he has for wrestling, obviously. Because if he didn't have no love for this shit, he wouldn't have did it.
of course not.
He would have told his daughter like, yo, find another hobby or something. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But he did this for her, and look how big this shit grown. Do you remember exactly the first time when we joined this? Because remember, he told us, he hit us up, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm doing this little league thing, and you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to come join. You don't even have to play. All you got to do is just watch. You get what I'm saying? And enjoy the show, right?" And
But we had like
bro,
10 viewers at that time. We had 10
we had
viewers.
like
We would have
three,
saw
probably
everybody.
10 viewers the most.
Everybody's attire was ass.
That's right. That's right. We didn't. I tell you the truth. I was so pointless. I was so like clueless about making attires and making all this. I was like, what the hell? Like this shit is whack. Like I don't understand it.
Everybody had the same
We were
type of
noobs. We were noobs.
yeah, of course. Everybody had the same type of fighting style. It was either you were a striker,
That's
you
right.
know,
That's
and
right.
Like I said.
We cloned moves from like wrestlers that
Hmm.
were actually in the game. Like we didn't think about making our own moves freestyle. We didn't even have entrances.
Hmm.
Like I remember the entrance was like the ones that like the game
Yep.
brings and shit. And I was like, what the hell is happening here? How come this guy got a cool entrance? How come this guy got cool gear?
And
You
I
know,
came
and I
in.
looked
I
at it
I
like,
came
yo,
in. I remember I came in, and I came in, and I am me and you were we were together. I made my debut. I think after you.
shout out to the dope boys. Yep.
You
Dope sleep dope boys.
you started it, and then you were like, get your guy over, and I was like, I gotta get the game. I got the game created, my dude, and I sent it to you. No, I sent it to A. I
That's right.
told A. I sent it to A dot, but
Correct.
A dot couldn't do the rest of my attire, so I had to switch my dude up because I played the whole game and he didn't. So like I got like extra fucking gear or whatever that couldn't be uploaded. So I remember
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came in, I switched my attire, and I came in with a mask because that's my whole gimmick. I'm an assassin. So I came in, I think I interfered in your match and you won that match. And then the following week, I ended up fighting Dirty Sanchez.
That's how.
I fought.
Yeah, that's how we started that rivalry
Yep.
with the Dirty
Hmm.
Sanchez
And
brothers
we
and
weren't even
Spicy
a
Rico.
faction yet. We were just the dope boys. We
Yeah, we were the tag team,
yeah.
the dope Dark Slope Dope Boys.
Yep.
That's how we started, and then we picked up Caleb Hopkins because he was one of those random kids that we saw out there that liked this whole movement thing that he was doing it himself as well, and he felt like, yo, man, I like to join this shit. You know, I reached out because I got a lot of, I'm not trying to big myself up and shit, but shout out to myself too because I feel like I'm a hell of a promoter and I promoted this shit so much that I've gotten so many recruits.
Oh,
Like I
facts,
bring a lot of
facts,
people into
facts,
the movement. You know what I'm saying? So
facts. You to no bullshit. You brought a lot of people in. You brought like other than what Savage did in FEW, but you brought a lot of people into FEW.
that's
You
correct.
brought you
That's
you
correct.
actually brought a good woman.
I actually brought it. I brought in Savage too as
Look,
well.
listen,
So
look at that. You brought Savage. And it's crazy because you brought a lot of people in. You like this shit. This is your shit. Like, see, like me
yeah, man.
now that I'm doing now that I'm doing the shows, I always wanted to do the streaming shit. I said it ever, once I get like everything situated, and I did it, and now I'm doing it. So now I'm getting more of a feel of it now, and it's better for me, and I like it. I'm enjoying
It feels
myself.
good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I looked at it like for me, I looked at it like an escape route. You get what I'm saying? Because I was dealing with so much shit. You know the real story. I'll blow it up here. I'll make it obvious. I'm dealing with a lot. I was dealing with a lot of like mental health issues and a lot of like personal shit that I was like doing damage to myself. You get what
Yeah,
I'm
of
saying?
course.
Like mentally, physically, and shit. And I felt like I needed something to like keep my mind like away from that. You know what I'm saying? So I figured, this shit that A Dot created, everybody else is doing it, but it just happens to be that A Dot's my boy from back in the days. Like we grew up together, like you said earlier, and we grew up together, and we're doing something that we wish we could have did back then. But now we got even more access to shit. Like we got internet now. We got fucking online worldwide gaming. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This whole Efed gaming thing, I look at it like this is a good treatment for people who suffering from mental health issues, from any diseases, there's diagnosis, anything that can cheer you up. That if instead of you thinking about that mental breakdown shit that has you all fucked up, you can come over here and watch the show, and it's entertaining, and you're gonna live your dream that you always wanted to live. Because I wanted to be a wrestler when I was younger too. Family, it didn't work out like it didn't work out for most of us, but I feel like now I actually made it. I like DBD in the EFED world is such a big hit thanks to GW that it's incredible. I didn't even think I would have all these people like supporting me. I don't even know half these people.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
know
yeah,
A
of
Dot,
course.
I know his wife, you know what I'm saying? But like now I got friends from all over the place. I got friends in Scotland, I got friends in UK,
Hmm.
I got friends in Puerto Rico, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's all over the place. And this shit is
It's funny because you know the way this whole EFED shit happened. Everybody. It was like a certain time where a lot of us didn't get along. And
that's
we
correct.
ended
That's
up.
correct. Speak,
Shit.
as a matter of fact, speak on that too. Speak on that too. How storylines break. Like how does storylines make it more fun and how does the storyline sometimes get out of hand where you're like, yo, man, this guy's taking it personal, or this person is taking it personal. It could be a male or female. They're taking it the wrong way, and then they take your gimmick that you're playing as your role player, and they taking that as who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really that person that you're playing in the game. Your role playing is not the same person you are in real life. You get what I'm saying? That's why I say it's an escape route, because I'm somebody else when it comes to being DBD. I'm not DBD in real life. You get what I'm saying? In real life, I'm a fucking humble ass person, bro. I look out for people. I fucking, I try to spread love. But
You
in the
talk a
role
lot of
playing
shit
world,
though. You talk a lot of
I'm a shit talker, of course, and that's what I was about to get to. In the gaming world, man, I'm a fucking scumbag. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a traitor. I'm a backstabber. I'm this and that.
hmm
So
Shout out to the show again. Um. Anyway, like,
facts.
yeah, like a lot of storylines. Like, see, like me, I'm the one you love to hate. Like, I
Okay.
thrive off of people that don't like me. You know. Yeah, sometimes I'll be in my bag and I'm like, you know what? Why nobody like me? But you know what? I'll be like, you know why? Because they can't beat you. You
They
know,
can't
and
beat you. That's a
this is
fact.
how I grew up. You know, I had a lot of people that hated me because
You're
at
competitive.
the end of the day, they hated me because they feared me. But I'm actually one of
Fire.
the nicest guys you could ever meet.
And that's a
You
fact.
know,
And I'm telling you this firsthand, man. This man is a humble
I
motherfucker, bro. A
listen.
good
Like
person, man.
I break balls and I fuck around, but at the end of the day, I'll take my shirt off my back when it comes to me.
Of
When it comes
course.
to me,
Would need to
yeah,
be. Would need
when
be.
need be. Now I don't do that no more because I retired my hands. Because you know, I don't get it twisted. Zae The Assassin will come out and bust some ass, but you know,
That's
you know,
correct. That's correct. Now,
I'm
and let me
37 years
let me
old.
put. I'm
I can't be
37
fighting like
myself.
that no
Shout out to
more.
you for that,
I
man.
can't be fighting like that no more. My bones hurt.
And talking about that, talking about that, that's funny you say that, because talking about that, let me put people on to the listeners that are listening right now. Um, this man, if you needed if you were by yourself in high school or in middle school or wherever it was, even in the street, and this man is your friend. I'm talking about Zae The Assassin. If this man is your friend in real life, and you had a problem back then, before he got married and before he had kids and all that, this man will fuck somebody up for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, this man, he said he'll take his shirt off his back to help out his brother. You know what I'm saying? If he considers you a brother and a family, you got it. You're 100% rotten. You get what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. This man will, it doesn't matter what time of the day or night it is, this man will come knocking on your door and punch you in the face in front of your wife, in front of your kids, in front of your mother, your father, anybody who's there. This
Not
man
no
was
more.
that man back in
Not no
the days,
more.
but not
Back in the
anymore. Of
days.
course, obviously, you grew up. Yeah, you grew up out of that. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So, like, that's according to my question too. Excuse me. So back to the question, like, how does that feel when some people take your gimmick and your promos and your shit talking to another level where they're like, yo, we're not talking wrestling anymore? Like, how does that make you feel? Like, when they come out and say some shit, like, they're like, yo, now you're getting out of character and now you're not role playing. And a lot of us are looking at it, like I said, we're looking at it for like an escape route for our mental health issues. That's very important. A lot of people don't talk about mental health, but it's very, very important.
Oh
So,
yeah, of
how do you
course,
feel?
of course. You know, a lot of people. Well, a lot of people do know because I don't hide it no more. I was an addict and an alcoholic. You know, like I had a serious drug addiction.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you for breaking that, man.
And
Like, you know,
I went like a good probably 10, 12 years. You know, doing drugs, and I didn't care about anything. It took a breakthrough, for at the time when my son was 4 years old to look at me and say, "Daddy, why you doing this?" And
wow.
that
See that?
that
That's
see
fire.
me, I'm more like I'm not a person to cry or nothing. So, but when he said that, that just broke my heart, and I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
fully
of course.
concede to 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 get better, and I'm 2.5 years clean.
Yeah, for sure.
Next July 4th, I'll be 3 years sober. Of drugs and alcohol, and it's a great feeling. Like I
Amen to you,
you
brother.
know,
That's
like
fire.
I go to sleep. I go to sleep sober, and I wake up sober. You know, I used to go to sleep high and wake up high. You know, and
How does that feel?
it feels great. You know, like I I
Yeah,
could talk about it, and you know, like it gets to me a little bit because I'm like, damn, you know, like I did a lot of damage to like family members and all that, but you know, you know, things got mended, you know, and like I'm a brother. I'm a brother to my siblings. I'm a son to my parents, and I'm a husband to my wife, and I'm a father to my son. You know,
that's fire.
you
That's
know, at
fire.
the end
Nah, yeah,
at
that's
the end of
fire.
the day, it wasn't. It was, you know, it was about me getting better. But as me getting better, I had to change my ways because if I would have stood in that path, I don't know what would have happened to me. I don't even know if you would have been talking to me right now. You know,
We probably wouldn't be having this conversation right
you're right
now.
about that. Amen. And you know, and it took
Amen to
and
you,
it
bro.
took and it took the willpower. You know, like because I didn't go to rehab. You know, I don't deny rehab for anybody. If anybody, you know, anybody with drug addiction or anything, you know, just, you know, go to rehab, you know, and if that works, you know, then it
Get
works,
help.
you know,
Yeah,
like
man, get help. Whatever helps anybody to get out of the demons they fighting, get out that dark room. That's what we call it. It's like a dark room, man. You know, and like I could relate to what you're
because
saying because I was going through that too during the pandemic time, man. Before and during the pandemic, like around 2020, like I was a fucking lost case, man. But
the
I've been also 2 years sober
nice,
from liquor and shit,
amen,
you know, and
amen to that.
yeah, man,
And you know what's crazy?
appreciate it. Yeah.
Um, I got sober during the pandemic,
Wow,
so
that's
I
that's
like
that takes a
July
lot.
4th of the pandemic. I fully conceded. I quit everything, cold turkey. You know, um, I did what I had to do. You know, I you know, I changed my whole lifestyle, you know, and you know,
And so
I didn't
and
even go to like meetings like in person because you couldn't. So I was
right,
basically talking to people over the phone,
yeah, like
like
Zoom and shit
yeah,
like that, right?
like kind of yeah, like Zoom, and I was doing things like that, and you know, and my passion I liked at the time was paintballing, you know.
Oh, okay.
So
Shout out to the paintballers out
hell
there.
yeah, you know, I still got my gear, and if anybody want it, they could get them. They could get them
You,
shots.
du- you dust off the balls, huh?
Hey yo,
Pause.
hey yo. Nah, but
You know the paintballs. I get it. I
yeah,
know what you
nah,
said.
but you know, in all actuality, man, like this Efed shit, this Efed shit is crazy because, you know, like I would have never thought of getting into stuff like this. You know, like
Right,
I had the
right.
systems, I had all the systems, I had the Dreamcast, and I
Oh, that's
remember
another thing too. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's another thing too, ladies and gentlemen. Like whoever's listening, understand. I know this man when the Dreamcast before the Dreamcast actually came out. This dude right here had the Dreamcast before it even dropped. I don't know how he got it. He'll let you know how he did it, but I remember he had this shit. He actually chipped it where you could like remember when you chip the shit like you chip the systems like if you had a PlayStation 1 you could chip it. You playing like Chinese, Japanese games, and we had that. We were in that era, bro. This guy bring out his TV in the summer, you know what I'm saying, during the block parties, and we were just there all night, all day and night, midday and all till like 3 in the morning type shit. You know what I'm saying? And our parents used to be like, "Yo, what the fuck already? Like, get off the fucking game. Let's go. You know, you got school tomorrow and this and that." And man, fucking amazing times. But shout out to you for that, for being the first motherfucker in the hood with the Dreamcast and shit, UFC
yeah.
and all that. And talking about UFC, I want to get to that in a few too. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because I got some plans for Global Studios regarding that. Shout out to Fresh Prince also for putting his 2 cents in on that idea. But yeah, um, the EFED game, and like you were saying, like it like it took your mind off of certain things. So go ahead, continue. Like it got you
So
to where you are now. You wasn't thinking of doing this, so go ahead.
so yeah, so like you know, like I always wanted to stream. Like I was just like I see like all these streamers and everybody, you know, like I'm a very big Call of Duty fanatic, and I like shooters. Like I'm a big shooter fan. Like I like shooting games and things like that.
Shout out to
You
Call
know,
of Duty.
so
Yep.
like I got Call of Duty, and I had a system, and me and my other boys, we were talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get me a computer," and I was like, "What's the difference?" And he was like, "Bro, it's a totally different thing. You could do this, this, that." Long story short, I got into it, and now like the shit that you can do on there is like it's amazing. It opens your horizons to doing more that you can do on a console. Like because you could do
Yeah.
a lot on a
100%.
console. Don't get me wrong. You could stream. You could you could do that, but with a PC, like you could do just so much more. So, like I said, you know what? I'm using. Uh, I stopped doing drugs, so now I have more money because people that
This is yeah,
so
of
so
course. Not only did you stop doing drugs and like that'll harm you and wasting money. Now you're doing like gaming is actually considered an addiction too because you can be actually addicted to gaming and streaming and all
oh,
this other shit.
of
You get what
course,
I'm
you got
saying?
you
So,
got your addictions.
but
You
it's a
Yeah,
healthier
I
way.
consider it. You have your isms for everything. You could have
Correct. Correct.
you could be a shopaholic. You could be
Hell yeah, that's a
you
fact.
could be a gameaholic. And anything is a holic. Like you could just have your isms. And me, I'm the type of person. If I go, I'm gonna go all the way. You know, like
You go hard or
like
go home.
when I was into paintball, I went crazy and went all the way. Went for paintball. I got all the good shit, all this and that. When I started playing softball, I needed to get all the gear. I needed to get the pants. I needed to get the cleats. I needed to
Fire.
get the bat. I needed
Yeah.
to get the glove.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah. 100%.
that's just the addict in me in general. So like when I got the gaming, I was just like, fuck. I need this, I need
Yeah.
this, and I need that. And I said, you know what, I got the money or whatever, and you know, now I'm gonna put it to good use because in all actuality, I'm not looking to get paid, but I'm looking to get paid. Know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right.
if
Right.
something happens, something happens. So, this is great because it opens up your horizons to other people. So now
It's like why waste $100 on drugs to put in your body that get you high for only a few hours? Then you can do something and invest those $100 in something that'll get you high for like the whole month or the whole year,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically. You know
You
what I mean?
know,
So it's like you change one drug for a better drug, but this isn't a drug that will harm your body. This is a drug that actually makes
this
you
is basically
get away
this is
from the actual
technically an
drugs. You
investment.
know,
You know,
an investment. Exactly. That's exactly what it
so
is.
like now I'm investing.
Shout out to all the streamers out there too, man. By the way, because this shit is really like this gaming shit. A lot of people who sleep on it, man. Either you're too old to like be involved in it, or you're too young to understand what we're saying. But this shit is like a gateway, man. This is not a gateway. It's like an escape way. Like we look at this to get our mind off of the real shit that we're dealing with in real life, man, and it helps us continue and move on. You know what I mean? Like
In all
so.
actuality, you're
That's
never too old to do anything, man. If you
that is
have a
correct.
dream, chase it. You know,
That's
don't
correct.
stop.
Shout out to you for
Don't
that,
don't
man.
don't
Shout out
stop.
to you
Don't
for that.
stop. Don't
That's
stop for
real.
your dreams because you know what? You stop for your dreams, you're being selfish to yourself, and you can't do that because that's like a number one part of mental illness. You're stopping yourself and you're limiting yourself to things. I understand.
Correct.
Listen, I understand. I understand the fullest for everybody. And I'm not here to judge and I'm not here to like preach, but you know,
Correct.
I'm just that I'm in that whole the you could say I'm in this whole aura and area. Like if you want to do it and you want to, like push your dreams, more power to you. However age you are, like shit, you could be in your 50s and you want to play a video game, then go ahead, you do what you got to do. Go play. If that makes you happy, then you do what you got to do. Because there's a lot of people that get held back because they're not happy. And it's not a good thing. Because then that just messes you up emotionally, mentally, you know, um, physically. You know, there's I see that there's people that do thousands of things, man. Like there's like older people that I still
Correct.
see them fucking working out and running, and I'm like, holy shit, what are you 80 years old and you got a body of a like you got the wrinkles, but you're fit as fuck. Like like it's
Yeah.
just like it's a good thing. That's a blessing. Like because
That's correct. No, you're
the
right.
world is too short, man. Like life is short, and like people don't understand that. A lot of people take life for granted, like like all these killings of rappers and shit like that, like and and all this crazy shit. Like life is too short, man. And
That's a
and it's
fact.
crazy because this is like totally way off topic that we're talking about because we're supposed to be basically,
That's not off topic. It's basically the same shit. I get it.
you know, um, nah, it's just like, like this whole like the whole EFED movement, the whole GEW movement. It brought us back to our childhood, and
That's correct.
it made us like who we are now because now our kids are enjoying it. Now our kids are into it, you know. Like shout out,
That's a fact.
shout out to the people with no kids, and it's the younger kids that are looking up to us, that are doing things with us, like they're with us, like the 787s, like
Yep, that's
that
right.
that that
Shout out to
that kid's from Puerto Rico, you know. It's
Yep.
rough out there.
15-year-old
Yeah,
kid.
no, it's rough out there, and I know because you've been out there, you lived out there.
I lived out
Yeah,
there.
I
Yeah.
never stepped foot on the island, but from videos that I watch and everything, he's keeping his eyes on the street. I asked him one time, um, on Halloween, I said, "You don't go out, trick or treating or whatever," and he was like, "Nah." He was like, "Why would I go out there?" He was like, "It's a war zone."
His war
He's like,
zone.
"I'm
Yep,
not gonna
that's
go out in a
correct.
war zone," and I was like, "You know what? I respect that." Because he,
I mean, he's one of the kids that are keeping this movement as a positive instead of using it as a negative. Which this is a good thing too because we're keeping kids like that off the streets and keeping them into something fun and
hmm
entertaining. So
and
that's dope.
and it's a good thing because you still got the Miss Dances, you got
That's
all the
right.
kids that are
Shout out to
into it.
my dance.
Like they love this shit. And then sometimes we be arguing and fighting and all that shit. Like like we're just like
Of course,
why, like they,
of course.
and they're acting like more of adults than we are. We're acting like children, but you know what? It happens. Emotions take over. But you do what you got to do. You know, but
Of course. Let me refill my shit. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm listening. Go
um
ahead.
like with this whole movement is great because a dot gives us he actually gives us like the freedom to do what we want to do. Like he's like, yo, if you want to go and you want to go do another EFED, you can. Just don't use the guy that you got here, which is understandable. Because you know what? If you go to a fucking record label and you're using Zae The Assassin on the record label, they already got you signed on that record label. I'm not gonna go to Death Row and put myself under Zae The Assassin because it's not gonna work. You know, you can't just go and just go and like jump different things like that. So A dot tells you like, you want to go do your own shit, go ahead. That's on you. You do what you got to do. But when you're here, you're here. He doesn't like the promoting of other e-feds and shit, which is fine. You know, and like I always say, you never bite the hand that feeds you. He put this in front of us.
Yeah.
He gave us the opportunity. Go ahead, you know, and like I thank him. Like I appreciate what he did. Like, me and you went up to him. Well, not went up. We pulled him to the side in the chat and we told him like, yo, what do you think about this, and this? He said, is it gonna work? And we told him, yeah, we got this. He was like, all right, if you think it's gonna work, then go ahead, feel free.
That's another a shout out to him for that because he never says no when it makes sense. If to him makes sense, he'll let it rock. So shout out to
And
that.
and I'm pretty damn sure that this is making sense. Like, like this Fight Club shit, it doesn't have storylines, but it's great because we're just putting fights together. We got belts,
Yep.
like we
It's like we try to use the Fight Club thing for like we wanted to do it like dream matches, but then again we don't want to fuck up the GW like main show matches either.
oh
So like we can't book certain matches. So
uh,
you know what I mean?
of course, but you know what? But we can because at the end of the day,
It doesn't
it
count.
doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
like this, like we have the belts. Like we could hold it. We could hold down the belts or whatever, and we could do like like, oh, but I kicked your ass on Fight Club. So all right, so you know what? Come to GEW and kick my ass. Then you lose, and that's it. It's just
Yeah.
it's
That's it.
it's a cool thing because like you could go down to FEW and go bust ass there like I did. I spanked the Jesus.
I've done that.
You know,
I've done that too.
like you
Yeah,
could go to and it's cool because now like it's like FEW can't just go to GW and fight. So you know where you could go?
that's right.
You could come to
That's
Fight
right.
Club. You come to Fight Club,
And it's still
and yup,
GW. Yeah, and it's still GW.
like you
Yep.
could have the Slades, you could have the
The
bombshells,
Nolan
you could have the
Wrights.
Nolan
Yep.
Rights, you could have both of them, and
Brandy Mullen. Shout out to Brandy Mullen too, man. She won the Queen
Brandy
of New
Mullins,
York
she won the
title.
Queen of New York title. I didn't think she had it.
And
Look,
shout out to Cherry
well,
Bomb too.
Cherry,
Cherry Bomb is a FEW
yo,
guy
it
too.
was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, both.
yes, she's from Carnival. Like, yo, she's huge. I
Hmm.
thought she had it. I was like, yo, she's destroying her. I didn't think Brandy Mullins was gonna win tonight. You know,
Speed always dominates the strength
that's
sometimes.
true. And like with the Savage and Prince fight. That shit is that was an epic fucking fight. You
That was
know,
a phenomenal fight. Absolutely,
that was
100%.
great. Like fucking I didn't.
I see why you yeah, I see why you saved that match for last because I was expecting like the King of New York title to be like the main event, but you went ahead and you used your mind and you figured I think I can make it better and you made a main
Well,
event that was
that
better
was the main.
than what we
To
were
me,
expecting.
I always think the main events should be single matches, but that's just me.
I
That's my
agree.
opinion. And like
I agree.
opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So
Everybody has one.
so my opinion to like you gave me the freedom. You know what? This is your show, so you do what you want. So like I run it by a couple people. What do you think about this person and that person? I ask a couple different people, and if they tell me, all right, cool, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So I put it together. I've been pounding around the show. The show was gonna be for next Wednesday, but there was no show
Why
today.
not? Why not throw it Friday, right? I
Yeah,
got you.
why not? Why not give the people a show? And everybody liked it, which I hope.
Talking about shows and talking about shows, right? How do you feel about the FEW movement? Shout out to Savage Vega, by the way.
The
How do you
FEW
feel
move
about
is
that
great,
whole?
man, because you know why? It shows like like I know a lot of people are just like, what, fuck it, I want to go on the main card, because like why am I gonna start here to end up there, like but
Right.
it's showing you, like probably these people that join like other Efeds, they already been in Efeds that like like
They have their own.
yeah,
Some of them have their
some of the,
own. Some of them are
but
in different
but
ones
with
as
it,
well. Shout out to David Pope because David Pope is one that he's like everywhere, man. David Pope is like a megastar in the EFED world. But
but
we'll save that for another time. Yeah.
he respects it, like he respects it. He respects
Yeah,
the rules.
he don't come into our community and promote anybody else's shit. If you really look at DBD and myself, like when I play my character, I'm a I'm trying to be like a big success like everybody else is in the EFED world. I try to like join other ones out of loyalty for GW. I only promote GW brand. You get what I'm saying? So like if I'm a part of any other EFED, which I am part of WSW, shout out to them again. And I'm down with like other ones that I probably won't even know I'm down with because they download my character because I'm a big hit, like I said, So but the only ones that I'm really known about is GW and WSW. So that's
And the thing
basically
is
it.
with that, your character is actually somebody, like, let's say your character was real, like like in real WWE. I will fuck with your
Right,
character because of the whole swag, the way you talk
right,
shit, the way you don't give a fuck.
right.
Like it,
Well, that's the thing with me too. I try to keep it more realistic. I don't try to go out like I don't want to be like a demonic character or a dead man like the Undertakers or the Finn Balor's and stuff like. I don't want
yeah,
to do that. You know what I'm saying? I figure like I stay. I'm a Brooklyn guy. I'm a guy from Brooklyn who grew up fighting like you did, like your character. Like we got basically the same gimmick. You get what I'm saying? You're just more successful than my guy is. That's all it really looks like. But in all actuality, DBD is more popular than Zae the Assassin when it comes to like the people liking. You get what I'm saying? But you are more successful because you had more titles than I have. You are reigning the champion right now. So like at the end of the day, your guy ain't nobody to be fucked with. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
My guy,
and
I just talk
and I
trash. I
think
back it up.
technically
That's
the
it.
reason why like DBD is liked more than Zae the Assassin because Zae doesn't really talk as much. Zay just
Right.
Zay says what he has to say, and then that's it. Like
Then
I'm
he's
like,
done.
you know
Yeah,
what?
I
I'm not
got you.
gonna really talk because all this talking, if I don't prove it, then what's the use of me talking? You know?
Well, talking about that, now we're on that topic. Like, give me your. I asked this question to all my guests. Give me your top five GW guys right now, and you can't include yourself
Oh, all right, my top five right now.
right now.
Hmm. Uh,
Doesn't matter the order either. It doesn't. Your number one doesn't have to be your favorite
yeah,
one,
yeah.
but he can be. But
Um,
it doesn't matter the order. Your top five.
by the way things are looking, um, I'm digging the icy clone shit.
Oh, you're digging that? Okay.
Yeah,
So shout
I'm
out to
digging the
Icy,
icy clone
Spicy
shit.
Rico, same thing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Nice.
digging that whole swagger because he when did he fight?
The
No,
boy's working out there
when did
too.
he fight? When did he fight? He fought. Oh,
For
the
yesterday on
faction.
Thursday.
No, the faction was when he fought in the
Okay.
faction was he fucking yo. He literally he no that was spicy. My
Dismantled.
bad, my bad. It was spicy, not icy. He literally went and no, it was it icy. Was it icy or spicy?
Well, when it came to the clones, it was Icy. When
Nah,
it came to when it
but
comes
remember,
to
he fought like three other factions and he destroyed like it was an elimination, and he ended up winning the first two. I think it was spicy, no?
it could have been, but I'm pretty sure Spicy. We haven't seen Spicy since probably like since the last pay per view. Everything we've been seeing is Icy clone, Ghost, Icy Ghost. That's what he goes by.
Okay, so then it was
So
icy when he does the when he does the slam and then he fucking like
the
he
people's elbow thing.
no and then he goes and he gives you the camel clutch.
Oh
Like
yeah, yes, absolutely.
he took out like five dudes with that shit. Like he took out a whole faction team pretty much by himself. Like
And
that was
and
cool.
and and this crazy that is cool. And the crazy part is that you and him, you and Spicy Rico were the first official GW rival.
Yes,
Like, you know what I mean?
because
Like you took his character
me
out.
and
If
him
it
fought.
wasn't for you taking his character out, he wouldn't be Spicy 2.0 and Icy Ghost and all that. You wouldn't have seen that. He would have been the same person from the beginning, but
Yeah, because
he changed it up and now he's better. So
before we changed up everything, we used to have like a stat line and shit. And
that's correct.
my first seven fights, I came and I won flawlessly.
Undefeated.
I was flawless. Yeah,
Yep.
I
Yep.
lost in tag teams and things like that. So, but I fought me and Spicy fought, and like his character was good. I didn't really respect it as much because I was just being biased. But
Right.
throughout these couple months, and I seen that he was fighting. Like I give the man respect because he fixed his guy up, he changed his ways, and now the dude is actually he's working. Like
It's worth watching.
he's worth
He's worth
watching. Now
watching.
with the icy
Yeah.
clone shit, I didn't really feel it at first, but now I'm feeling the whole clone shit.
You
You know,
feeling it? Yeah, I'm feeling it too.
and
To be honest with you, at first I was like, what's going on?" But then when I saw the videos and what came after the videos, I was like, "This shit is fire. This shit actually saved GW, because GW was in a movement where I'm not saying GW was whack or it's gotten whack, but it
we
was
were very
looking
consistent.
like
We were
it was
consistent.
it was consistent, but it's like it was looking like it was starting to repeat itself.
Yeah.
Like the same thing you saw in the last pay per view, you saw in this pay per view, and then but we stopped that once the clones came in. I was like, holy shit, this is
This
real.
whole clone movement changed everything. You
It
know,
changed
and
everything. It saved it. Like I said, like it kept it more relevant because it didn't keep going around in a circle. You get what I'm saying? Like every pay per view gets better. So
number and
shout out to November to Remember, because that was a good as hell pay per
yeah,
view. That was a collaboration between both Savage and OMG.
my number two
AEW.
will be Caleb Hopkins.
Shout out to Caleb
Not just
Hopkins.
because he's
Yep.
part of my faction, and and like I consider him a friend, but you know that fucking guy, he's amazing, bro.
He is. He
I
is.
downloaded his character and I fight him, and he busts my ass. I'm like, holy shit,
He
you know?
it's like it's, same way here, same thing. So the truth, the way I practice when I create my guy and I practice against Caleb Hopkins. I practice against you, and I practice against Storm. Oh, and I also practice against Ego the Prince because I had a practice for him because I was in a big pay per view on my birthday,
Hmm?
October 7th, which was the Halloween
Yeah, yeah.
spectacular,
That
the
was
extreme
that
horror.
was crack.
That was fire. So I had to train for that, and I was like, yo, I got to give this guy like one of my best creations, and luckily I came through with that. But I always practice on you guys because you guys are like top notch motherfuckers, man. Shout out to Caleb Hopkins too for being number 2. He's also in my top 5. So, all right, number 2, Caleb
Number
Hopkins.
two, yeah, Caleb Hopkins. Number three, you're not gonna believe who it is. I actually I like fuck, what's his name? Tolos. Tolos is. I'm
Ooh,
like, yo, like I want to fight Tolos. I want a match with him because I want to see
shout
how
out
he
to
is.
Tolos.
Tolos is a
Yeah,
beast, man. Like, you
yeah,
know,
he is.
like I remember in the first couple of like podcasts that we had, I was like, what has Tolos done? And and he was a man about it.
That's a
He
fact.
was like, what have I done? You know, and when he said that, I was like, like, damn, I should be cutting him some slack. I shouldn't be beasting like that. Like I shouldn't be a dickhead. But right now, he's proven himself. Like he was a tag champion. Like he he
Yeah, he
you
was.
know.
He was. He
And
was.
for my number four, I gotta say Storm. Storm is an animal,
Ooh,
bro.
shout out to Storm.
Storm is an
Yeah, he is an
animal. I
animal.
haven't I seen him on the Fight Club ring, but I haven't seen him on the GEW ring. You know his creations are phenomenal. You know, shout out
Is like he
shout out to Fresh Prince too. That man's creations are OD.
yes sir.
He's one of my number one go to guys for Fight Club. Anything I need, I ask him. He'll be like, give me a couple days and I got you. So, you know, um,
Without a doubt.
you know,
Yeah.
but Storm, he has come in, you know, and dominated,
He
won
done so much. He done
championships.
so much in a little bit of time.
Yes, like he proved
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yes.
for number five will be you. You know,
Number 5,
you know,
DBD.
you, you, you
Nice.
know, it's crazy because I got more, but it's like those are like my top
Yeah.
dogs. Like you know, like
Right.
like like I show respect to Savage. Like Vic Magic. I fucks with him too. I like his style. Even A Dot. A Dot's wrestler.
Yeah.
A Dot's wrestler is on point. Like
He's underrated.
yeah. Well, but
Underrated.
he really doesn't fight, and A Dot really
He
don't
doesn't really
care.
like to.
A
Yeah.
Dot really don't
He
care.
doesn't really care.
You know,
Exactly. He doesn't like to do that.
and it's it's crazy how you say like like um
If anything, we could have like a top 20, but
nah, that's gonna be
I
too
only
much.
asked for 5. I know, but I'm just saying, like it's like the list keeps going on. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
Like the
like
list can keep going, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
of course. Um, things like that.
number 5,
Yeah,
DBD. That's fire.
and the
We're
reason,
looking for
nah,
that
and
though.
the reason being not just because you're my boy or anything, but the reason being on that is because like your whole demeanor in the show, like you're an asshole,
Right.
like you're an
Yeah.
asshole. You talk shit, you fight. Sometimes you show out, and sometimes you don't show out. But
Right.
no matter what,
It's like
you're still gonna fight.
like I was talking. No, of course, and and I'm going to that point talking about DVD. Like I gotta give a shout out to Fresh Prince because he said something that made a lot of sense about DVD. Right? It's like I'm so like I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but I'm so watched and I talk so much shit that I sell the fight. So right. So like for example, if I'm gonna have a fight with you, I'm making sure that everybody is rooting against me to like lose. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody wants me to get my ass kicked. You get what I'm saying? Like I talk so much shit that I get under everybody's skin, so everybody's like, "Yo, fuck this guy up already," because I'm tired of his shit.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And not only that, but if you win that match, you're a star now. Or even if you lose, everybody's like, "Damn, man, I wish Zay would have kicked his fucking ass." You know what I'm saying? And now everybody's like, "Yo, for what I saw Zay do the DVD last time, you better watch out with this man." You get what I'm saying? Like I give you a boost. It's your character, so therefore, from now on, after you fight me, everybody's watching you. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, shout out to him for that.
Nah, yeah, nah. That's that's like the realest shit, and the crazy shit about the whole DVD situation when he came in and he did the faction, so-called faction killing shit. It was
Yeah,
very well
that gimmick
respected.
worked.
That
Yeah,
whole
it worked.
storyline, it had me pissed off because I'm like, damn, that's my man's. Like, you
You
know.
didn't expect it. Yeah, you didn't expect it. I know. I know. That's why I spoke to A Dot on the side with it, and I was like, "Hey man, how do you think about this?" He was like, "I don't think they're gonna like it." I was like, "It's not about them liking it. Like, how do you think for the show? Like, do you think it'll be worth the show to like pop? Because like I betrayed Hopkins too, man. Hopkins is one of my guys, man.
Bro,
Like, I
you
still like
fucking
Hopkins.
you shitted on the whole faction. You made
The
it.
whole crew, the
You
whole
you
the whole family.
you made Wolf. You made Wolf Danger. Shout out to my man Wolf. You made him lose his
Shout out to
title.
Wolf Danger too.
You made him lose his
Yeah,
title. Fucking you flipped Hopkins, but Hopkins still got the win. And like,
it's because Hopkins is great.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course
shout out
he's
to
a great
Hopkins, man.
fighter. Like, and he's all around. He really takes time. It's crazy because like when I first started, I didn't take time with my guy. I just made him, threw him in there, see
Yeah,
what happens.
same thing with me.
You know,
Same thing with me. Yeah.
and
It's like Hopkins, Wolf Danger, Storm, a lot of these guys, Val, everybody, all these guys, man. These guys take their time with their characters, man. Shout out to you guys for doing that, bro. Because we don't have the patience. Some of us don't have the patience. I have the patience now for it, but I didn't at first. You know what I mean?
well,
So
where I wanted to be in this whole GW shit, I had to. You
of
know,
course,
like
look what you're the champ.
like I'm like
What?
fuck. I needed to be the greatest, so you know what? I need to take my time. Because Rome wasn't built in one day. So
That's
you
right.
know, um,
And since not to cut you off, and since those are your top five loved, not loved, but like you like them, right? Give me a top five. Like, yo, I can't stand this motherfucker, and I will never work with this person. It could be a male or female too. Like the
number one would be Triple.
Trevel.
Yeah,
Oh shit! Shout out to Trevel,
yeah. I
TV,
really
TVG. Had him on the
yeah.
podcast
I
too.
got no
So
problems with the kid. Like you know it, when it comes, he's cool, but it's just like he doesn't know how to take a loss, and which is
right,
understandable because I don't know how to take a loss. But you know what?
we none of us
After
do.
a while,
None of us
once
do.
you get beat, you got to take a seat back. All right, I'm gonna let it rock. I'm gonna let it settle.
Like, chill out, yeah, chill out.
Like
Like
he
that's what
doesn't.
happens with me.
He
Like every time I lose a big fight, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let me calm down a little bit. I'm still gonna talk shit, but I'm not gonna talk as much shit. You know what I mean? So, but I get you. Go ahead, keep going. Dribble.
and it's crazy because everybody else is cool. Like he's like the only one that I really won't work with because and like I would have not worked with Rob J. You know, I know he's not part of the movement anymore. It was just
Shout out to Robert J, man. Nah, yeah, I know it was a misunderstanding and probably
yeah, but other than that,
something personal between
yeah,
him
nah. But other than
and the
that,
boss, but
he was cool. Like he was cool, but like wrestling
you didn't
wise
want to
and
work with
like
him.
Efed wise, I can't work with him because of his whole like how he wanted like the way his
He wants to take over
storylines,
his
yeah, the
storyline.
way his
Gotcha,
storylines are.
gotcha.
Um, I like the kid 787, but I can't work with him because
That's another one. That's
he
three.
just
Good.
he wants to keep fighting and like fighting and fighting. Like, bro, I already beat you. I proven to you that you're not good. You know?
But he's a kid
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
so
yeah. So
he doesn't know how to take a
shout
loss
outs to
either sometimes.
787. You a good kid, and
Shout out to
I
seventy
like
seven.
you in real life. Like you my guy.
Yeah.
But
In character, I can't stand your ass. I
um,
got you.
I can't say I can't really say Jedi because I will work with him, but it's just he talks a lot of shit, and after a while it's like pressure bust pipes. Like I'm just like shut the
Right.
fuck up already. Like like he's a
Like I'm tired of your
yeah, like
shit.
he's a good
Yeah,
smack
I
talker.
got you.
Like
He reminds me of myself, to be honest with you. When every time I look at Jedi talking, like his shit talking is like my shit talking.
yeah,
The only thing is his is more like it's a little different. You know what I mean? But my shit talking, it's like you could take my shit talking because you know me for like 20 something
yeah,
years, 20 plus
yeah,
years
yeah,
and shit, right? But you don't know him.
yeah.
And for him to talk the way I talk is like, yo, who the fuck are you to fucking talk to me like that?
And
You
I
know what
don't
I'm
think,
saying? Like
and
you
I
a
don't, and I
DVD.
don't think
You know
I
what I
could
mean?
work with Slade. No offense to him.
Slade.
No offense to
Shout
him.
out to
Shout out
Slade
to the
too, man.
FEW movement. But
Yeah, man.
like these dudes, like I feel like
These dudes got they
them.
gotta crawl
Yeah,
before they walk,
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like
Like But like,
Can't come at the champ, nigga.
yeah,
You
like,
fucking crazy. You know who I am?
yeah, like
Yeah, I
that's the
got you.
only reason. Like, like other than that, if there was like a suitable place to work and do something, I will do it with them. Trivil's like I will never. Like I'm putting him in Fight Club because I gotta show love and that's just the way
Of
it
course,
is.
it's no bias shit here,
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
And like you said, like just because you mention them that you don't want to work with them doesn't mean you don't like them. It's just you don't want to work with them when it comes to storylines.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Like
That's
don't get
fair.
me wrong, I will work with him in the future, but Trivil I won't work with at all.
At all.
At all. You know?
Same thing with Savage, man. Shout out to Savage Vega, bro. That's my boy. And he's like he doesn't really want to work with Dribble either. Like he got his personal reasons. Maybe I'll get him back on the show for like a part two so we can keep talking more shit with him.
Hmm.
But we're gonna get to the bottom of that. You know what I
Like,
mean? But I had Dribble on the show, man. TBG, the bad guys, and he's a good dude, bro.
nah, he
Like
is. He is a
it's
good dude, but majority of the
he's a
time
humble
he have
dude. You
my
know,
name was in his mouth. And it's just like
gotcha.
I'm like, bro,
Album
enough.
covers, yeah. He mentioned you in the show
Like
too.
I'm like
It was
enough, bro. Like
you one of his biggest rivals
yeah,
to be honest.
basically.
Like he looks up to you as a I can't stand him. So he probably feels the same way you feel.
Yeah. But
But he wants to fight you. That's the
yeah, of
difference.
course.
You know.
And he's gonna get his shot next Wednesday. It's gonna be me and you versus TBG. We're gonna
Oh, let's
we're
do it.
gonna fight. We're gonna fight, and
Bringing the dope
and
boys back.
yeah, dope boys are gonna be back in Fight Club. Um,
Nice.
Shout out to Fight Club. Every Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Um,
Shout out to Fight Club every Wednesdays and
yeah,
Fridays, 8 p.m.
Wednesdays and Fridays. That's if the boss.
And that's Fridays. That's Fridays if there's no pay per
Yeah, yeah,
views.
yeah. If there's
By the
if
way,
there's no pay-per-views on Fridays and there's really like no shows, no ball shows, or none of that. Shout out to GEB,
to go.
Global Extreme Ballers. You know,
Oh, let's talk about that too. What do you think about that? How do you feel about Global Extreme Ballers?
I, I,
You like that movement?
yeah, I hate my team right now because they're not doing what I want, but it's actually pretty fun. Like like you're watching.
Yeah. Tell me more. Tell me more about it. Like, what's fun about it to you?
It's fun because it's like 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 we got all the creative players, your team's on there, and it's just like I feel like it could be a little bit better, like setting the controls of how the players how the players move, like like play wise and playbook wise and shit like that. But it's all a work in progress. Shout out to the guys. They really don't fucking. They're doing the same thing we're doing. Like just A Dot's just fucking commentating. And his team is doing the same thing that my team is, but his team is winning and my team sucks. Um.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's different. We're gonna talk about more GB in season two when it comes down
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah,
it because I don't
definitely.
really want to because it's mainly about the Efed world and mainly about how we use this wrestling gaming
Well,
to
what's cool about it is that like Spicy came up with the idea, like, yo, why don't we just
yeah. Shout out to
why
Spicy
don't
Rico for
why
sure.
don't we just
Yeah.
make like a ball movement, you know?
Yeah. You still there? I think we lost you. Having some mic issues. Yo, having some little technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Just give him a second. He'll be right with you. But yeah, man, like like he was saying, it's a movement. Shout out to Spicy Rico, and like I was gonna tell him earlier too. I was talking to Fresh Prince, and I was gonna talk to A. Jizzle about bringing in the UFC um movement into the global studios. There he goes. There it is. Yo,
Yeah, yeah, my bad.
now
I
you're
got a
good. Don't
phone
worry
call.
about it. Nah, I
Um,
kept it going. We good.
yeah, so, um, yeah, with the whole global extreme movement, like
The global
it's
studios. It's global
yeah,
studios now. Now everybody, A Dot is blessing us all with a show because we're taking pressure off him. That's the whole movement of the global studios. Like I took off the pressure from him having a podcast to break down and review all the like what we're talking about now. He will ask you these questions in his podcast, but the show, to prevent him from like stressing himself out and having too much shit to do, I took over the podcast. you took over the GW Fight Club, which is like an extra show, which shows the GW talent and FEW talent, and they get to call each other out and fight. And shout out to FEW for Savage Vega's stuff. Savage Vega is the NXT version of GW, so that's fire. And now we got the
Yeah,
basketball
that's actually
GEB, Global Extreme Ballers.
yeah, that's actually that I like the FEW. FEW is actually really cool because it's basically like it's just showing you like
Yeah, no, it's a movement.
if yeah, it definitely upgrade. It's a upgrade. Like
It's it,
you
it
start
it started
you
off
start
from
off from the
wrestling.
bottom.
Yeah, it started off from wrestling with just like 5 to 6 guys, and now we're like fucking almost 80 people deep. We got a basketball thing going. We got multiple wrestling shows, and we're trying to get this UFC shit going now too. Like I was saying when you got cut off with the mic, uh, I was talking to Fresh Prince, and I was trying to see if since he owns the UFC game, he was trying to look into see if we could do AI versus AI when it comes to UFC. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe we can call it something like uh, oh, I don't know, something that has to do with cage. So maybe like global cage F, like GCF, global cage fighting or something. Well, it's still to be decided, but
Yeah, yeah, it's a work in
it's a
progress,
work in
definitely.
progress, right? So I figured maybe we can like add some UFC shit. There's a new boxing game coming out soon. Maybe we can add boxing into this too. Like, bro, if we can do these things, it can help a lot of us who are dealing with a lot of personal shit like mental health issues. That's why this main season is about. Season one is about Efed gaming and how it can affect, like not affect, but like how can it help you with your personal issues and personal stuff. Instead of you going crazy by yourself in your house thinking about shit and bugging out and crying and doing all this other shit, come and have fun and watch us do what we do, man. Like we're doing this for y'all. And the kids love it, obviously. Miss
Yep.
Dance created it. And we got all these kids following, like your son, Juju Mello, the Grim kids, shout out to Shake Peace
Yeah,
kids, and
and
787.
they're in the Philippines, right?
That's
That's
right.
the crazy part. They're fucking halfway across the world,
Bro,
and
we're
they
all
like
over
this
the
shit.
place. That's
Oh, and yeah, shout outs to Toto's kids too because
Toto's kids too,
Lazaro
his
won.
daughters. Yeah, man.
Lazaro and Patara.
That's right.
Lazaro won today. She beat LEQ
That's right.
in the triple threat, man. She kicked off the show. You know, like with my show, I'm trying to show like the women fighters more. Like
That's
I
good
give them
too.
more.
That's good too. Because shout out to
You
the
know,
women movement too. How do you feel about that? I was gonna ask you before we get to the next question. How do you feel about the 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 women? Like should we promote them straight from FEW or should they start in FEW and work their way up the way the Princess
mm,
Alicia did and stuff like that? How
you
do you feel
know,
about that?
it wouldn't be fair, to like Princess Alicia and the other
Because
women. They're like
she had to
like
work her way up.
because she worked her way up and she earned her spot. You know, they should. I think they should just like Savage. Like that's his show. He could do whatever he wants, but
That's correct.
he could just like have like a show just like based just for the women and to see like which ones who could, like this like you put two, three, four, five matches up, and if they prove themselves there, they get called up or whatever. Like
That's a fact.
if they prove themselves in and out, every week that they're on the show, and and you put them on the show, and you put this one on the show and that one on the show, and they show out, they should get called up because it's true. A lot of these women, in they wanna have storylines,
Yeah, of course, of course.
and it's
They want to
cool.
be part of the movement. That's why I was telling like my other guests too. Like I'm not knocking Savage shit. I love FEW. I fuck with it and everything, right? But the thing is, like these newcomers, when they come in, they don't want to join FEW. They want to join GW. So when they see GW, I understand. You have to go through FEW because that's the process. It's like the NXT version of GW, right? But like everybody who joins, they don't want to join to be in FEW. They want to join because they want to be. on a Tuesday, Thursday show. You get what I'm saying? Like they want to
Yeah,
be with the DBDs, with the Zae The Assassins, with the Savage Vegas, with the Spicy Ricos, with the Storms, the Fresh Princes, like Victor Magics. They want to be with those guys. So, and
but
I felt that
that's
we're
why there's a
lacking with
Fight
the
Club.
women. Yeah, that's why there's a Fight Club. That's
That's
why.
why
That's
there's a
why.
Fight
Shout out
Club.
to you for that, man. Because Fight Club, without Fight Club, a lot of these people wouldn't get recognition either, too.
Like when I told you, I remember I think I told you I was like, I'm gonna bring in Bodega Bam, and you was like, he's just a fill-in. He's like, he's nothing. Nah,
Right.
everybody should get love. Everybody should get shown out because
I
then,
feel you.
like, you Mike West hasn't even made it to GW yet. He's still in FEW. His first
Mike West
match,
is the problem too,
he
ladies and gentlemen. He can't.
he fought the champion over there and he beat him. You know,
That's correct.
he made his debut fight in FEW and he beat him.
That's correct.
You know,
That's correct.
you know,
And he's the
he's
he's
technically
he's the world
he's
champion in Fight Club right now too. Shout
yeah,
out to
he's
Mike
the world
West.
champion. He fought today. He fought Zae the Assassin and he fought Victor Magic and he won.
That's
You know,
fire. Yeah, that's
he
fire.
he retained his belt. He retained his belt. That was his first fight that
First title
holding the
defense,
belt
and
and
he held it
his
down.
first title defense and he held it down. Yeah,
Yep,
you
hundred
know.
percent.
So like with these FEW fighters, that should give them more like
I
of
agree.
a boost.
I agree.
They feel happier. Like RJ Bombshell today.
Shout out to RJ
You know,
Bombshell
I
too.
thought I thought he was gonna lose.
Yeah,
He was getting his ass kicked, and then all of a sudden he came out and he won. You know,
100%,
he beat Spicy, and Spicy was dominating that whole fight.
hundred
You
percent,
know,
100%.
he fought Khan. Shout outs to Khan. Khan lost.
Shout
He
out to
was the
Khan.
first one
He's
out,
he's he's next on my show too. Shout out to Khan.
he's actually that dude's a beast.
Yeah, hundred
Me
percent.
and him had a storyline going. Then he got into a little shit with GW or whatever. But that's all of that is water under the bridge.
Yeah,
You just gotta let it
we
flow.
fixed those issues. Yeah, that's a hundred
Yeah, all
percent.
those. That's what I'm saying. Like all these shows, everything is just like, everything's a work in progress, and and
And
it's
so
good. It's good that we took.
that's crazy you say that, because that leads to my next question, right? So my next question is, you can answer it even if I'm not talking. You can still answer the question. Just take your time answering it. If you had to change something right now that's going on in the global studios, or actually GW, if you had to change something that was going on in GW, if it could be like Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever, if you had to change anything, what would it be and why?
Hmm. I would
Go ahead.
change. Hmm, that's a good question. Um, Shit. Wow. I like GW the way it is now, but like I would change. That is a good question. Wow, you got me stuck here. Um, hmm. I could I could say like you know make more matches like tag matches like we don't see as much as the tag matches as we should, but I like singles matches personally because that's what I like about Zay. Zay's more of a singles match fighting type of guy. There's some matches and like yeah, like I could just say like the tag like there should be more tag teams and the title should be more on the line.
Gotcha.
Like if you got like a top notch match, you know, it shouldn't be like basically like Zay. Like you can't just throw Zay into multiple matches.
Correct.
Even though Zay wants to fight, I'll fight anybody.
Yeah, but
You know,
right, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So like if like for me, I would change something like I will bring back the whole draft split thing. You get what I'm saying? Like I like that movement. I like that idea. Like it worked for me. I don't know for you how you feel about that.
no, it did work. Like it was helpful because it actually split up the squad. And it wouldn't be like how like you're on the show every week basically. You're on the show on Monday. You're on the show. I mean, you're on the show on Tuesday. You're on the show on Thursday. Even though that you're DVD and you bring eyes to the crowd or whatever, but it'll be cool if you already know, like, you're looking forward. Thursday, Zay's fighting no matter what. Tuesday, BBD's fighting no matter what. Thursday, Spicy's fighting no matter what. Like, like shit like that. Which I get you on that. Yep. This whole movement is it's 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 a good movement, and I say, like, with the switching of like the we should do, like, breaking up factions. Like, like, no
You
matter what, you'll still be part of the same faction, but you could switch up the factions. Like,
gotcha.
like, you'll have DWO, like, three DWO members on Tuesday, two DWO members on Thursday. If you got some DWO members in FEW.
What's
You
talking about DWO, right? What's next for your new members of DWO? Shout out to Tyler Jones too, by the way. A lot of people don't be mentioning him.
Tyler
The voice
Jones,
beast.
Tyler Jones, DWO got a lot of shit going on, but I ain't saying nothing.
You're not gonna
That's
blow
all
that
I'm
up.
saying.
I got you. I got you.
Um, you know, DWO with my guys. I push my guys. Even though that I'm champion. And
That's a good thing.
you know,
And you know what? Like a lot of people don't understand that. Now that you mentioned that, that's fire that you mentioned that, because I want to clear the air. Like a lot of people look at it like, because of my promos, I always talk shit about DWO because that was first officially my first home. You guys are my brothers. You're my brother in real life, and out of character, you're family. You get what I'm saying? But like in character, you also are family, and I did that just to make GW more exciting. You get what I'm saying? Like I did what I did to the DWO because it was the first official. Like I was telling my other guests before, it was the first official storyline that made like a wrestling storyline out of like the characters that we play. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
like me betraying DWO made this shit even more fun to watch. You get what I'm saying? Like that pay per view, Baptized in Blood, like that pay per view was basically a DWO pay per view. It was a DBD
yeah,
versus DWO pay per view. You get what I'm saying? Like nobody cared about any other match that was happening. They wanted to see DBD come back out and keep on kicking on DWO's ass. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's why it worked out. So I want to clear the air. Don't think that DWO does not push their characters, their members, because I only
yeah.
did that as a
Well,
storyline, and I only took that as promo. Hmm.
personally, me, like, I always I want a belt, like, no matter what, because that's just the way I am.
Right.
But if my guys have gold and I don't have gold, it's cool, because you know what? At the end of the day, they're gonna be like, damn, but Zay's pushing his guys.
Of course.
And like I tell my DWO guys, that's the number one thing to me is loyalty. If you're loyal to me, if I put it like this, I always give this analogy. If the links are strong in a chain, the chain will never be broken.
That's correct. That's an
So
actual fact.
if you got strong links, there's nothing that's gonna be. We're like, I'm animanium, and the chain link is made out of animanium. It's never gonna be broken.
That's correct.
You know, so with Tyler Jones joining,
That's a big
I'm
move.
trying to work.
That's a big move.
He beat Texan Tornado. That was real big.
That's a big
You
movement
know,
too. That's a big
and
move too. That's what
and
I said.
I seen potential in him when he fought Wonder Boy. He came in. I was a little
Shout out to
skeptical. I
Tyler
was like,
Jones
all
and
right,
Wonder Boy. Yep.
yeah. I was like, you know what? Like, damn, how this dude lost to this dude. But then I'm like, you know what? I could work with him. And
And that's
you know he and
and that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing, right? How do you feel about stuff like that, right? Like you know how we got Wonder Boy. Everybody knows the story now because we spoke about it with A Dot and we spoke about it with Ego the Prince, right? So how does that feel to have somebody in that type of group outside of character in
it's
this
weird.
world?
It's weird because you know, like you already know how I am, and
Yeah, right. I mean, you know,
like you
you're
know,
not that you're homophobic, but you're like you know, it's different.
like
It's different.
when he beat me and he didn't pick me like to be
Yeah.
part of the fucking to be part. I was like, what? Like
Right.
I was the
Like,
last
dude,
one.
I'm the fucking champ. I'm the face of this
Yeah,
company.
like I'm the assassin. Like
I'm the face
who
of this
doesn't want
company.
me? Like I could fight. Like my guy is good. Like you know, like and I was like, damn, I lost to somebody like him. You know, no offense. Like this is out of character. Like I was just like, damn, I lost to him, but he's a good fighter. You know, and I put him on the show, and he showed out
He did.
Wednesday.
He did.
You know, he won. You know,
So that's what I was gonna
he's a, he.
that's what I was gonna ask you because technically he's not part of any factions. So you went for Tyler Jones instead of going for the Wonder Boy kid. These are two newcomers
Well,
from.
technically, he is part of a faction. He's part of Midas.
Is he? Because when I asked Midas, he said that he's Midas, but Midas is more like a management company where they push the character itself to like get shots at titles and stuff like
Hmm.
that. It's not like a faction itself. Like,
But basically, we got a storyline working where he's gonna since I seen it like this, I'm gonna work with Prince. I said, you know what? I could work a storyline with this because now Wonder Boy is still part of the. He's part
you
of
got the Midas touch.
he. Yeah, he's with them.
Gotcha.
So you know
Gotcha.
what? So now Tyler Jones was talking to me, you know, and he was like, I still want a shot at fighting Wonder Boy. So I was like, all right, you know, I want to fight him. Bubba Watson wants to fight him. You
Nice.
know, so why not throw Tyler Jones in there, you know? And he's a big powerhouse dude. His moves are sick. You know, he got the moves and I said, you know what, when A Dot put him against Texan when he was fighting in the champion of the year, I said, all right, I just looked. I analyzed what he did.
Gotcha.
And, you know, he beat him. And I'm like, shit, damn, because fucking Texan Tornado was on a tear, you know?
He was. He
And,
still is
you
actually.
know, and you know, I'm trying to push Tyler Jones to go for that title. To go for the fucking hardcore title.
Which that was a belt that Hopkins dominated before Texan Tornado.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Of
So
course. You know, Hopkins dominated a lot. That he's the goat slayer. You know, Hopkins is Hopkins, no matter what.
right.
Hands down,
100%.
Hands down, Hopkins is
He's the
he's to
goat.
me he's the
He's the goat.
to me yeah, but to me he's the monster moment.
Gotcha.
You know, because he's the slim guy. Bubba loves him. You know,
That's fire.
I actually made Bubba, and he was like, I was like,
You
what
want to be
moves do
like
you
him.
want to have?
He wants to be like him.
What? Yeah, I was like, what moves do you want to have? And he was like, he even say me, and I was like, damn, I'm your
Damn.
father.
I'm your
Like,
father. I'm your father, little nigga. What's going on here? I got
so no, but he was like, I like him, and he
you. Yeah.
pointed at Hopkins,
That's
and
cool.
I was like, he's part of DWO, right? And like his eyes lit up, like he was like, oh, really?
Even
Like,
better.
you know,
Yeah.
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 So
That's fire,
so
man.
and
Shout out to
it's funny
Bubba Watson.
because the way I made him when I made Bubba Watson, like I was making his character in front of him, and he was telling me I want this. So he wanted the skull face paint.
Ooh,
So I was like, nah. I was like,
nice.
nah, that's corny. I was like, nah, you know, you shouldn't paint your face because you're
He
gonna be
said,
a
put
clown.
the goddamn fucking skull on my face.
Yeah, you know, he was like, I want that. And then he was like, I was like, what color you want your hair? I was like, do you want it brown like yours? And he was like, no. He was like, I wanted another color. So he was like green because green is his favorite color.
Okay, nice.
And
Good color,
then
kid.
I was showing him all the like the hairdos and stuff. So I was like, I was gonna give him a crew cut like me, and he was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
You want the
He
pushback.
was like, yeah, he was like, I want that. So then I looked and I'm like, who does he remind me of? And he reminds me of the old Sting. from back in the day with the blonde
Ooh,
hair,
good point.
and the face paint.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a little
Retro
stash.
thing. Retro thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna throw a stash on you. I gave him a goatee,
Nice.
and he got the towel over his head like his pops. That DVD stole.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Shout
and
out to DVD.
and I said, I'm gonna give you the same attire pretty much that I got, but you're gonna have everything different. The knee pads with the wolf on it, he wanted it. I was like, no, it doesn't fit your attire. You can't. And he wanted it. He was mad. He was like, I want that. I want that. So Yelly Q was like, why don't you just give it to him? Just let him. This is his character. So I was like, you know what? You're right. And I didn't think he was gonna blow up like this. I thought he was just gonna be average. But me and him worked on the moves. I said, which moves you want? I showed him, and he was like, I want that one, that one, that one. So I made him, and he felt that's how he fell in love with the game, and he made DWO like what it is now because of him.
Right.
Other than me being a champion, and Hopkins being a champion, he made the show, and then he went on, and then we had some guy named Wolf Danger. That was another one. He when I it was funny because me and you were talking, and I was like, yo, who should we draft? And you was like, draft this kid Wolf Danger. And I was like, and remember we were I was skeptical about it. I
We
was like,
was.
I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
was.
And then you were like, put him in a match with me, you and with you and him. So I spoke to A Dot. I said I want to fight Wolf, and then me and him fought, and I beat him. But he showed out that fight, and then that's when we drafted him. And then after that, he became the FDW champion. You know,
One
and
of the best FTW champions, by the way.
hmm that whole Robert J story and everything. It kind of, I kind of felt bad because it threw him off.
Yeah, it threw him off,
You
and
know,
not only that, but it made him like feel like, damn, I don't think I belong here, and you should
yeah,
never make somebody feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
you can't just do that to somebody. Like he's a kid too. Like
Of course, of course.
he's not a full grown adult. Like
He's a
you
young
could
adult.
see,
He's a young adult.
yeah, yeah, he's a young adult, but you could see that he's like real WWE ish.
Right, right.
He puts the Seth Rollins up, the Finn Balor's, the things like
Yeah,
that.
of course. Yeah,
Which is
Roman
harmless.
Reigns.
Like he loves the sport. He loves the sport, and this is the passion that you need. You need
Exactly.
this passion.
And I agree
You need
100%.
this. You need this passion in people like this. Like you need people that are gonna follow. Everybody always needs their own way, but his way is, what? I'm gonna follow a gimmick, and I'm gonna like it, and I'm gonna just take it, and I'm gonna work it
And
myself.
I'm gonna stick
And
to it. Yep.
yeah, and you seen how he came back. He came back, and the fucking guy is dominating,
Bro,
bro. He's
he came
fucking
back a
doing great.
beast, a monster.
He's
He's
he's great.
he's there now.
You
He
know,
might look out. He might be coming for that WWE. I mean that world heavyweight title. You
of
never know.
course, anybody. Listen, like I said, I got the biggest target on my back,
That is true.
and
That is
I'm
true.
looking forward to it.
You got the Stone Cold target in the Attitude Era when he became champion. Like everybody
Of
wanted it.
course,
Like Vince didn't want him to be champ. The only
you
thing is,
know.
shout out to A because he actually likes you as a champ. And like he told me the other day, it's like he's like, yo, like a lot of people don't even mention you, and I felt the same way. I was like, yo, you're 100% right. Nobody mentions Zay. Like this nigga should be top fucking out of a top 100. He should be number one. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you won 7 straight defending titles, and you won straight 7 fights in your debut. Like, come on now. Like, fucking put some
Yeah,
respect on this goddamn name already, man. Stop fucking around.
like it's cool because, like I said, people fear what they don't understand.
Yeah.
So they don't understand me
They
because I'm
hate
not
what
the
they don't
person to.
understand, fear what they can't conquer. You
That's
know.
basically it. And me, I'm not really a promo guy. I put a promo out here and there.
Oh, I'm a promo guy. I like to talk shit.
Yeah, we know you. Of
You
course,
know.
you're a talker.
Yeah, I'm a talker.
I
Talkers make you
let
thirsty.
I let I let my poetry speak in the ring. And that's the way it always been.
That's what it looks.
Like I'm not.
Well, that's what I base my promo and gimmick on. My gimmick, I base it upon like a Stone Cold, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. Like I have a mixture of all these guys, and I put it all in one. So that's what DBD is. You feel me? So that's how it works for me.
Yeah,
That is, you
which
know.
is great.
Yeah, it works. It worked out. I mean,
It
like
works. It works. Everybody likes you. You know, you're pretty much the fan favorite, win or lose. You know,
100.
they still go for you.
Yeah, 100. I like that.
You know, it's funny because I'm not the fan favorite, but I like that.
Yeah,
You don't gotta like
you
me.
don't have to like you, right? Like you said, like you don't have to like me, but you have to respect me, and I
Yeah,
respect
that's
that.
it.
I respect that about you.
You know, you gotta pay homage
Of course,
because you know what? I'm the king. I'm not the king.
you well
I'm the monster.
technically you on the throne, so you are the king of the face.
You
You're the
know,
face of JW, the king right now, JW. So put some fucking goddamn
but I'm not
respect
the
on this
king.
fucking name already. Yeah, niggas stop fucking
You
around
know,
with Zae
and
The Assassin, man.
you're right. You know, and like Hopkins, like I said, like Hopkins made a name for himself, and but he's like my hand. You know, like anything that happens with DWO, I run it through him. You know, and if he doesn't accept, then it doesn't happen. You know, like
That's a fact.
like he throws ideas at me, and I'm a person I really don't say no as much. So I'm like, yeah, that could work. Yeah, yeah, well, do it. Fuck it, let's do it. You know, and his ideas are great. You know, like
Of course.
and DWO got shit cooking right now. We got
That's
the
what
pot
that,
stirring.
and
That's all I'm gonna say.
that's all you're gonna say. I get it.
That's all I'm gonna say. You
Shout
know,
out to
and
the creators, and shout out to the story planners, because everybody individually has a story to tell, and if you as a faction leader, you have a story to tell with your crew. So shout out to you for that, man.
yeah, definitely. You know, and another person that a lot of people don't mention as much anymore is SGK. SGK,
That's my
that
boy.
man is an animal.
Shout out to
That was
SGK.
he was
He was the first
he
official animal that I seen when he came in. He
and
probably won like 8 in a row.
he was the first official $1 billion champion.
That is correct. Yes, it was.
There was a couple moves that I took from him and I put in my repertoire.
Nice.
You know,
Shout out to SGK
um,
for real. Nah, for real.
I took him out because I feel like they took a little bit more time, but like I was really digging his style. And I like the whole Undertaker thing because you know Undertaker's
Undertaker's
one
the
of my
goat.
favorite
Of
wrestlers.
course, he's the goat.
Like that was my dad's favorite wrestler.
Fire.
My dad always he loved the Taker. That was like,
And he was from the '80s too.
like, yeah, and it's crazy because when the Taker retired, he came out, I was sad and I shedded a tear. I was like, holy shit, like,
Word.
like
That's fire.
like one of my guys, that's just like when Derek Jeter retired, like wow.
It hurt.
Like,
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt to see that.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it hurt to
damn,
see that. It hurt to see
he's
that, but
leaving.
you was like, damn, man, thank you for
You
everything
know,
you've
like
done.
yeah, and like Bret Hart was my guy. Like I always fucked with Bret Hart.
The only
Like
thing that,
like
yeah, talking about Bret Hart, man, the only thing that fucked up Bret Hart's career was that whole movement to WCW shit. Like, he shouldn't have did that,
well,
but
he
I
was
get why he
why
did it.
wouldn't you? But why wouldn't you do that if you're gonna shit on somebody? Like
Yeah, that's true.
he got screwed technically. Like that was the crazy part. He got shitted on.
He
Like
did.
the Canadian screw job was probably the worst thing in his career. So he had to switch.
That's correct.
And that kind of made him better. Because when he threw up the WCW in his hand,
Oh, yeah, I
nigga, I
remember
was
that.
like, what?
I was like,
I was
oh
like, how you gonna
shit.
leave? Like, it's crazy. Like, like Ric Flair went from WCW to WWE, WCW to
But he
WWE.
was always everywhere, yeah. But you can never deny that Ric Flair is not the goat. Like,
Of
if
course.
Ric Flair is not everybody's number one, then you're a hater. Because he's another one. Like, you see how the Undertaker gimmick is like a fake gimmick. It's like a demonic kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like, he wasn't that. You get what I'm saying? Ric Flair was the real deal. Like, he was a real person. Like, yo, I'm out here rocking Gators, Rolexes, Gator shoes, and shit like that. Riding limos. Like, this man was living
Hmm.
the life.
Like he was really Ric Flair. He was
He was
styling
that.
and profiling. He was the
Yup,
nature boy.
the Nature Boy.
That was his. That was his thing. And like the only two like the Taker never went to another federation. The
Neither did
Taker
Sting.
always stood with WWE.
Yeah,
Sting either. Sting stood with WCW.
That's
you
right.
know,
They're all the
and
same umbrella though now. So
and like Sting was one of my favorite wrestlers in WCW.
mine's
I
too.
love Sting. I used to love the Scorpion Deathlock. And then he had the Scorpion Death Drop, which was the inverted
The
DDT.
Bird DDT.
You
Yep. And
know,
the
he
Scorpion
had that.
Deathlock was the
He had
sharpshooter.
the Scorpion Death. No, yeah, no, it was the Boston Crab.
Well, he kind of switched it up to like the sharpshooter kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then he had the Stinger Splash.
Oh, that's right.
You
He
know,
did
when he threw
from the
you in the
top
corner
ropes.
and he run across and he'll slam on top
Yeah,
of
who
you.
jumped from the other
Like
side of the. Yep, yep, yep. I remember that.
and like all these other like all your other guests that I was hearing, like all the other podcasters, they never paid homage to Macho Man Randy
That's a
Savage.
fact.
Macho Man
That's a
Randy
fact.
Savage was one of the best wrestlers to me because he was a man that actually suffered from mental illness.
That's a fact
You know,
too.
he was
Yep.
he was
Yes, he
he
was.
suffered from schizophrenia, and things like that. And you know,
You
his
know,
wife was in it,
you know what's another
which
thing
was
they don't
Miss
mention
Elizabeth.
about Randy Savage too? That his voice was like that because he got hit with a ring bell. Whenever the rings, the ding ding,
Hmm.
he got hit with that in his throat, and that shit fucked up his voice box. That's why he's like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, like So I get it.
but that made his gimmick,
That made his
you
gimmick
know,
better.
and
Yep.
that just like when I love the times when he fought against Hulk Hogan. Those storylines were awesome.
That's a
Those are
fact.
like one of the best storylines ever.
That's a
Like
fact.
if like Macho Man's been around, he fought the best. He fought Ric Flair. He fought Sting. He fought Hogan. Like he
He fought the
fought them.
greatest. He's
You know,
considered one of the greatest. He should have been first ballot
yeah.
Hall of Famer in his class, regardless of when he was inducted. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Big fact.
And
Macho King. I remember
like,
Macho King. You remember that?
hmm and one of my other favorite wrestlers,
Let's hear it.
like my favorite wrestler, was Razor Ramon.
Oh, the God. Of
You
course.
know,
Hola, Chico.
Scott Hall.
Hey, yo.
Scott Hall, yeah, when he came out as Razor Ramon, when he first came out, I
Best
used to
gimmick
tell
ever.
my dad, I
Best
was
gimmick
like, I
ever.
want to be like him. Like
Yeah.
I like him. He's
That's
like an
that's
act.
another one that I put in my gimmick list too. So
Yeah, like I'm like, look how arrogant he is. You know,
he's a real guy. He was a real
and
person.
yeah,
Like
like
he's not a dead man like Undertaker kind of. Not knocking the Undertaker
like
gimmick, but he's not like that.
no, of course, but the Undertaker gimmick was the best gimmick there, man.
Yeah, the
Like
Fiend copied it.
everybody's gimmick fiends like follows the
Yeah,
dead man.
Finn
Like
Balor's. Yep, yep, absolutely.
you know like like you got the Finn Balor's, you got the fucking the Bray Wyatts,
Correct.
you got all of them, and it's crazy because another one that I used to like a lot was what's his name? Fuck. Raven.
Right.
Raven was a good ass wrestler.
He was
You
ECW
know, he
God too.
he went to
Legend.
ECW. He went to WCW, and his gimmick was good. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Like
That's it.
he used shit like that. Like he had the DDT.
Old school.
It's
Old school.
crazy because yeah, that's the wrestling I grew up on. So that's the wrestling I like.
I love it.
Like
It's a fact. A lot of people
like
don't
this
shout out
wrestling
Raven. Shout
now.
out to
Like I
Raven,
like
man. A lot of people don't mention him.
yeah, like I like all the new wrestlers. Like I like the Finn Balor when he was the Demon. I even got a shirt with the Demon on it. Like that was like one of the best
I
gimmicks. I
never
was like, what?
I didn't really get into it because that was the time when he first came. I didn't really pay attention to wrestling when he was like first coming out. You know what I'm saying? So, but I like him now. He grew on me, like Roman grew on me, and like a lot of
Yeah,
others.
nah. Like my boy that I used to work with in my other job, he was a wrestling fan. And he was like, yeah, Finn Balor, Finn Balor, Finn Balor. I was like, yo, who is this
Who
dude?
is this fucking Finn
And he
Balor?
was, yeah. He was like, yo, watch him. He was
Yeah,
like, yo, he's mad good. And the moves that he does is good. I even got one of his moves in my shit. So
insane.
do you.
Yeah,
When he
of
jumps
course.
off the top.
Yeah, the
The
stomp,
the coup de, the
coup de
coup de
grace,
grace.
coup de grace. Yeah,
That's what the coup de grace. He stomps on your stomach.
that's just
That
fire.
move is the shit.
Yeah, that's just fire.
And when when he came out as the demon, he came out as the demon on in SummerSlam.
A lot of people use that entrance and gimmick in the JW movement too. Shout out to everybody
Yeah,
using that in
when
the
he came
defense.
out as the demon, when he came out as the demon, and he goes, boom, yo, the lights go on, yo, it's crazy how like you see
Yeah,
grown men
but
acting like children,
but
you
we
know?
were those children that are grown men now watching this. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
it is. It
It's
is.
crazy, because like you got the Goldbergs and you got the fucking,
Shout out
you
to
got
Goldberg
the,
too, man. Goldberg was one of my guys too.
you got the Rocks, you got the fucking, you got the Triple H's, you got the
Oh, of
HBKs,
course, Triple
you know,
H. Yep,
HBK was my dude. I fucked with HBK. I used to fuck with Shawn Michaels when he was on the Rockers with Marty Jannetty, you know? That was when he had the mullet, you know? And another the one of my best groups ever, the best tag teams ever was the Legion of Doom LOD.
of course, of
Hawk and
course.
Animal.
Rest in peace.
You know,
Yep, of course.
rest in peace to Hawk. Animal's still living.
Yeah,
Oh, he just recently
he just
passed
recently
away.
passed. Yeah, that's right.
You know, like Animal was the Animal
He was
reminds
the
me of
muscle.
Tyler
He was
Jones.
the muscle, and Hawk was
Yeah,
more like the athlete.
the Braun.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was like that's like Tyler Jones. Tyler Jones reminds me of Animal.
Nice.
And we're the
Good
Hawks,
comparison.
of the team and shit like that.
Good comparison. That's awesome.
Like I could go on and on with people. The Barbarians, they were great. Ming was my guy. I always fucked with Ming.
You know another one that nobody mentions. You remember Crush?
Crush, Canola Crush,
You
when he
remember
was
that?
above.
Yeah.
I remember Crush when he was Demolition.
Oh,
Before he came out
me
as
too.
Crush with the purple
Me
and
too.
I remember when he was with Demolition.
Yep, I remember that too.
Demolition was another tag team that I liked.
It became a
It was
faction
it
at one
was
point too.
yeah, they were. It was Axe, Blast, Smash, Crush, um, and I think like two other people. Axe was the Repo Man.
That's
He
right.
came out as the Repo Man. And then they killed his gimmick. They put him down. You have a lot of dudes. Like I could just start mentioning, fucking, and you got, Mankind was like probably one of the most top
Yeah, of course.
extreme fighters. Like he
Terry
was like
Funk.
one of the most Terry Funk. Remember when he came out as Chainsaw Charlie?
Oh,
He used to run around
yes.
with the fucking chainsaw.
Remember when the New Age Outlaws threw them in the dumpster and threw them off the stage?
Yeah,
That was
like
epic.
like that. Yo, the New Age Outlaws too. Everybody thought that fucking Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, that they were trash. Yo, that was one of the best tag teams ever. That was one of the best tag teams. The New Age Outlaws was one of the best tag teams.
Correct. Correct.
And that's
Of all
just my
time.
opinion.
Of all time.
Yeah, of course. Fucking Road Dogg was cool. He had, it's crazy. You could just keep going. You could go for hours and shit and just talking and fucking telling. I like this is the reason why I joined this Efed, so I can be like, oh shit, man, go back. You
Yeah,
know?
like you trying to relive like storylines, but make it your way. In other words, right?
Yeah. Like it's
Put a little
crazy,
twist to it.
but
I got you. I got you, my G.
it's awesome. Like now that we can do shit and we can actually do it ourselves, it's fucking amazing.
The only thing that we cannot do is decide who wins the matches. But
Oh, of course not.
other than that,
But we
two
can set
Ks,
them up.
yeah, we set it up,
We
we
can set them
promo
up.
it,
I
and the rest is on 2K. But I love
Yeah.
this EFED movement, man. It helps a lot of us. When we're dealing with like what behind the scenes, what we're dealing with, like
Hmm.
it helps us. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps us,
Yeah.
the kid in us, alive. So that's big, man. Shout out to that.
All right. I got some questions for you.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Now that we're getting towards the end of the show, you got a couple questions for me. You can ask me in character or out of character, and I have to answer them 100% accurately, no cap. So you can ask me up to five
So
questions. So let's hear them.
who uh, who who is your five favorite, characters in GW right now as we speak?
Right now, as we speak, well, like I said before to my other guests, like I told A Dot and anybody else who asked me, shout out to you for asking me that question also. Um, I'm gonna go with number one, of course, Caleb Hopkins. And the reason I'm gonna say Caleb Hopkins again is because nobody's done. Like him and SGK, you could put them both like in my list as equal because they both came in. But I'm gonna say Hopkins more because when Hopkins came in, he came in humble. He didn't talk shit. He didn't know nobody in the league. You get what I'm saying? And he came in and he dominated, bro. Dominated. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like his moves, the way he set up his moves and everything, it's all on point and accurate. Like he could sweep a match. If you have a best out of three match, he'll sweep you at the best out of three matches. You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
that's why I chose him as number one. Like he's one of my top guys. Number one. Number two, I'm gonna go with you or Storm. It doesn't matter the list anyway because not in any order particular, but I'm gonna say
Hmm.
Storm, right? Because Storm, he's another one that came in dominating 100%. Like, wow. And the
Yeah.
reason I say Storm is because his creativity. Like, yo, this guy's a monster when it comes to creating shit. Like, he can create you an
Hmm.
arena, he can
Facts.
create you a logo, he can create you belts, he can create you anything you ask him for. And shout out to him too because he done professional work for like actual professionals that are actually in the business that are not in the Efed world. And
Facts.
basically he's using this movement for the Efed virtual reality world as a as an escape route because everybody has things that they dealing with. Everybody has demons they
Hmm.
fighting. So shout out to him for being that. So I'm gonna put him as number
Yeah.
two.
Shout out to Storm. He actually made the Queen of New York belt
That's correct.
that we got on right
That's
now.
correct.
That.
Yes, sir. So Storm number two, Caleb number one, Storm two, number three. I guess I'll put you in number three because everybody doesn't know. Like, bro, if y'all don't see it and y'all don't notice what Zae the Assassin is doing out there, y'all niggas is sleeping. Tell you that. You know. I'm gonna go with number four with Khan, cause Khan,
Khan. Wow.
yeah, cause Khan is he's a sleeper. Like nobody mentions Khan.
Yeah.
Like yo, Khan goes out there. He doesn't talk shit. He responds to your shit talking, and he talks shit as a response. He doesn't go out there
Yeah.
talking shit like I do. Like DBD. When DBD goes out there, he just talks shit from the jump, win or
Yeah.
lose.
He took my soul.
He took his soul exactly. So
Hmm.
shout out to Khan for to be number four. Number five, I'm gonna go with again Savage Vega, because
Savage.
yeah, because his creativity too, man. Like he got that whole Puerto Rico persona thing. He's like the New Yorican that we all want to like look up to. Like we had Savio Vega in real life, but he wasn't really more like a dominant Puerto Rican star. So like if Savage Vega
Yeah.
was like a real wrestler, I would be like, yo, I like this because he could talk his shit, he backs it up, and he's a creator. He has a lot of he has a lot of ideas that a lot of people are just like, yo, if you hear it, you're like, yo, that shit is fire, bro. Like, go with that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I pick him.
And he's actually killing in in the fucking Fight
And
Club
Fight
right
Club
now.
is killing, of course. And shout out to
He
him
watched
for
through
holding down
twice.
the FEW movement, bro. He's doing a great job doing that too, man. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't give him respect for that. But like, bro, I can mention like top 20. Like, I got, you
Hmm.
know, I got Spicy Rico up there. I got fucking Dirty Sanchez up there. Red Rum up there. I got, shout
Hmm.
out to the three brothers. Um, I got more people. Wolf Danger, bro. Like the
Yeah.
list can go on. But if you want to check my top five, those are my top five. So
Okay.
yeah.
Um.
Shout out to Fresh Prince too, also for being one of the monster creators and
Yeah.
everything. Like just because you didn't make the top five list doesn't mean you're not on my list. You could be on my top
Yeah.
five list also at any given moment. So shout out
Facts.
to Victor Magic too for that. He could also be there.
If you had one match that you could put together, that's including you, like you being in the match with somebody, who would it be? And who would it be with?
Well, I have like three of those matches, but my main one, I would like to see a dream match of me being the world heavyweight champion against I have to say it. Me being a heavyweight champion, and I would like to fight either Caleb Hopkins or Storm because those are the two guys that I feel like if I can beat these guys, let's just say for example we have like a best out of three match
Hmm.
because it makes more sense. So if I had a best out of three match, I would like to have a best out of three match with those two guys, Storm and Hopkins.
Storm and Caleb
That's
Hopkins.
right. Storm and
Nice.
Caleb Hopkins. Because if I could beat those guys best out of three, then I know I'm the GOAT. You get what I'm saying? Because I
Hmm.
beaten Dirty when we first started. He beaten me, of course, but and Dirty was the first official GOAT. But like these
Hmm.
guys are the noise makers. They the room shakers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those two, if it wasn't for those two, and you right now too, man, like a lot of people don't be giving you the props that you deserve, man. Like, you no joke. I think right now, if I was to like fight you right now with the guy that I got, I think you'll wipe the floor with my guy. But you know, I say I'm gonna stick with Caleb Hopkins and Storm. So either one of those two, a dream match, me being the world heavyweight champion and me defending the title in any
Mm,
big match with one of those two guys. It'll be a dream match for me.
nice.
Yeah.
Who do you think right now in GW is the most dominant wrestler right now?
Right now,
Hmm.
Zae The Assassin, and not because you're on the show, but because clearly I've seen you defend the title 7 times in a row, back to back, and you wipe the floor with all those contenders. So most dominant right now, 100% is Zae The Assassin, and not because you're on the
Nice.
show. There's no cap.
Nice. Um, I got probably two more. I'm thinking. Uh, Now, if you could see a dream match without yourself, who would it be?
Ooh, I knew that was coming. Well, my dream match number one, 100%, has to be Storm versus Hopkins. That's a dream match right there,
Um,
bro. Like I would, if there was, if like for example, if GW was to start charging people to watch fights, I will pay
hmm.
to watch that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a main event, like title or no title. That's a main event.
Yeah.
That's my
And
dream match.
nice. Last one. If you had to join another faction, which faction would it be?
If I wasn't doing this Gravediggers gimmick that I'm doing, which is
Hmm.
action killer shit, I would say I will either come back to DWO and continue the dominance from there because I love the way y'all guys do your thing. Even though I say that the best faction when it comes to gimmick wise is AWO. I know a lot of people don't
Okay.
like that, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. To be, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't care. Like AWO is filled with a lot of different characters. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes their faction
Okay.
unique. So, but if I had to return to a faction, I will go to DWO. But if I had to choose a faction from jump right now, if I wasn't part of the Gravediggers, I would say
Hmm.
PRX because I would like to represent the Puerto Rican movement. Because you know how I feel about the
Okay.
PR shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
die hard Puerto Rican, so yeah, I'll say
Oh,
PRX.
nice. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, I got more questions to answer if you got more.
Yeah, nah, that's really all I got right now.
I feel you. Nah, it is what it is, but that's what it is, man. Shout out to PRX, bro. You know, the whole PRX, Savage Vega, Khan,
Hmm.
787. You know, the
Oh, I
River
got one more.
Sisters.
I got one
Let's
more.
hear it.
Who would who wouldn't you want to work with? Just like the same question that you asked me. Like, who wouldn't you want to work with and why?
I wouldn't want to work with. Um, I work with anybody, but who I don't really see a match that's pointless. Like for me, that's pointless. I say 787. Shout out to 787, but like I don't have. If I beat him or he beats me, there's really nothing to prove in us fighting. You get what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that he has that I want. You get what I'm saying? Like
True.
the DBD is he's a go getter. Like DBD wants to be the world heavyweight champion. So if you're not the world heavyweight champion or if you haven't been the world heavyweight champion, there's really nothing that I really look for to fight you. But anybody else, they're on the menu. You know what I'm saying? Also, I wouldn't want to work with like I wouldn't want to work doing the same thing I did with DWO to the grave diggers. You get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to fight none of my grave diggers. Like I didn't really want to fight SGK. I get it. The storyline it made
Mm-hmm.
sense to fight him, but if it
Mm-hmm.
was up to me, I wouldn't want to fight him. But it happens and it happened. But I wouldn't want history to repeat itself when it came down to me betraying the faction and me going solo again. I wouldn't do that
Mm-hmm.
again. So, but if I had to choose, yeah, I wouldn't fight nobody in the Gravediggers, and I don't want to fight 787 because I don't see nothing there for me to fight him for. You know what I'm saying? I like the kid, like I'm a fan,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but I don't see nothing there.
It's crazy because he's been in a lot of fights
Yeah, he
and
made a
he's
name for
won.
himself. He made a name for himself.
Yeah, but he just doesn't close
He
and
doesn't.
like
Right.
and that's the crazy part because his fights are good, but he just he's been recently closing. He's been having the two
It's like
fights.
to me, it's all about promos. Like if you can make a promo dissing me and get everybody's attention, like oh,
Yeah, but you can't really expect him. He's
I know
he's from the
that's what I'm
island,
saying. That's why
but I bet
that's
you in Spanish he'll probably kill it.
right. But that's my point. You see what I'm saying? Like if you don't got nothing to offer me in a storyline or like in a gimmick, then I don't really
Yeah,
want no part of it. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody else, you're on the menu, bro.
yeah.
I don't care. I'll fight him in Fight Club. I'll fight him anyway. If A Dot decides one day to like, yo, fuck it, fight 787, so be it. But
Hmm.
win or lose, I have nothing to gain and nothing to lose on that fight. So it's like
Yeah,
you put me up against him, all right, fuck it. You put me up against him, but like the fight didn't really sell like the way it was supposed to. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna
yeah,
sell
yeah,
like
yeah,
a me versus Say the Assassin or me versus Caleb Hopkins or me versus anybody else type shit. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
no
yeah,
knock it to him because shout out to him because he's a great competitor, but I don't see nothing happening there. That's all.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Which is respectful. It's just it is what
It
it
is
is.
what
You
it
can't
is.
really.
Exactly. Like, dude, you gotta crow before you walk, man. Cut it out.
Hmm.
Can't come out the king.
Which I got one more. Which which FEW star would you want to fight? Like in a if there was a pay-per-view again with FEW and GW.
Uh, I have two of them that I would like to fight if it came down to it. I would like to fight Nolan Wright because he's a big shit talker like me. Reminds me of myself. And I would also like to fight RJ Bombshell.
Mm.
Shout out to RJ Bombshell too because he's now part of the Gravediggers and I'm trying to get the guy up to the GW
Oh,
main
he is.
roster. Yeah, he is.
He's a grave digger
He's a
now.
Gravedigger now. Yeah. If you
Oh,
didn't know, now you
nice.
know, nigga. You
Wow.
know? Yeah.
Okay, he's a grave digger.
Facts.
I guess he just made the
He made
list.
the cut. That's right.
No, no, no. He made the
He
list
made the
for
list.
GWO.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Tyler Jones versus
Nice.
RJ Bombshell will be a good first match if he ever makes it up to the main roster.
Mm,
Just saying.
mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we also got his son too, J Bombshell.
Shout out
He's
to
on.
J
He's on the.
Bombshell. Yeah.
He's on the Fight Club
Shout
roster.
out to Young James. Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the
Mm,
FEW roster, man. You guys are doing your
You
thing, man.
know.
Shout out to all y'all. Keep doing what
hmm
you're doing. Yeah, bro.
And who's the other one?
Uh,
You
N-
said Bombshell and
Nolan Wright.
and Nolan.
Nolan Wright. Yeah. Brock.
Nolan
Brock
Wright is
Harbin.
still
I
you.
think that's his name.
You wouldn't want to do anything with Slade.
I already did Slade already. Like I already, it didn't go the way I planned it because I lost the match, but I get it because of the whole universe thing and we wasn't ready. We didn't have the momentum thing, but
Yeah, yeah, of
what
course.
if he was to make the roster, the GW roster, I'll be glad to kick his
Wait,
ass too.
wait. I gotta cut you off right there. It don't matter about momentum or nothing. It's about skill.
It's about skill,
Because
but
the
it
assassin went down there.
and he did his
The
thing. You're
assassin
right.
went down to FEW and he showed
He
himself.
did. He fought the heavyweight champ down there. Kicked his ass.
hmm
That's correct.
Which was De
That's
Jesus.
correct. That is correct. You're right for that. There's no excuse. But
Oh, and Bubba.
everybody else who went down to the FEW pay per view, um, they got their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? So except you and Bubba, of
hmm
course, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like if Zae the Assassin was to fight DBD right now, I think Zae the Assassin will get the win clearly, hands down. So before that even happens, I'll make sure I'll be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that next time I see you, I'm probably gonna get a shot at the title if you're still the champ. So
Yeah. That's it. I gotta fight now. I gotta fight Eagle. And that man's been on a tear,
he
bro.
has been. Shout out to Ego the Prince, man. A lot of people don't respect that motherfucker, man, but that motherfucker be putting in work too.
Yeah, nah, he good, man. I seen what he did today, man.
Yeah,
Savage was an animal.
Savage is another
Savage was
animal.
literally
Yeah,
lived up to his name.
that's another one I probably would want to fight also in the GW roster. That like
hmm I
he owes me a real GW match. Like I'm not saying that Fight Club
Yeah.
is not real, but it doesn't really count.
No, of
You
course,
know what I mean?
of
So
course.
like I'll
No,
fight you on a
G,
Tuesday and a Thursday. That's what I mean.
Fi- Fight Club is Fight Club counts, but it doesn't
Yeah,
count. Feel
it
me?
counts for itself. It doesn't count for the storyline that we're going with. You get
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So you get it.
definitely. So yeah, that's really all I got for you.
Awesome. Yeah, man. So there you heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Zay the motherfucking assassin, 3-time
Yes, sir.
billion-dollar champion, 2-time GW World Heavyweight Champion, and reigning GW World Heavyweight Champion, reigning billion-dollar champion. You're the fucking man, bro. You're the GOAT right now. A lot of people don't want to say it, but I'll say it. You're up there. You're the Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore. Day one, you dominant, and I can't wait to see what's next, man. And as a matter of fact, before we leave, one quick question before I cut you off and before we end this. What do you expect? What we expect from Zae the Assassin on the next pay per view? Like what's going to happen besides you fighting Ego for the world title? What's next after that? If you can actually,
What's
yeah, if you
next?
can win that fight, and
If I win the GW, if I retain my title,
yeah, what's next?
um,
You're gonna take some time off of the defending the world title and try to go for like another title, maybe a tag team or something,
mm,
or what?
yeah, that's what basically I was looking forward to, trying to go for a tag team.
Who's your partner?
Who would be my partner?
Yeah,
It's either gonna be it's a toss up from Bubba Watson or Caleb
of
Hopkins
course, I-
or somebody from the DWO.
of course.
Let's just put it like that. It'll be somebody from the DWO.
And another quick question is involving that. What's up with Wolf Danger? DWO, or he's not part of the family anymore?
Uh,
Or that's
right
something
now,
that we're not gonna know because that's between you guys.
right now, uh, he's been we've spoken to him, and he says he wants to do his own thing, so we respect it. But if he crosses paths with DWO and tries to he tries to get froggy, then he's gonna have to leap and have to face the consequences of getting his ass whipped in DWO. So he's welcome with open arms. But we respect his decision right now. What he wants to do, he wants to be the lone wolf, and more power to him. And hopefully his journey gets better. But if he ever wants to come back,
He has a
he
home.
never lost his
He
spot.
has a home. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Unlike you will never have a home in
That's it.
DWO.
I'm done. Get him out of here. No, that's fire. That was crazy because I was gonna ask you, like, you see a DVD DWO reunion, or that's only for Fight Club?
That's only for Fight Club. It won't be in GW.
Copy.
You hurt me, man.
Copy.
You hurt me.
You broke my heart. You broke my heart. You fuck.
You broke my fucking heart. You fucking broke my heart.
Oh yeah. Another you say that too. Shout out to you for the voice. For that show that you had. You had a show a couple years back. You were doing voiceovers for the Italian thing, and that was pretty
Oh,
dope. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know. Like, this guy's talented, not only in the ring but outside the ring as well. We'll get to that some other time too. But you
yeah.
know, shout out to you for that.
I'm smart. Afraid of smart.
Fred Schmatt, yeah, punching the fotch.
I try to throw a couple words in the
I
show.
see, I see it, I see it, I see
She got punched in the fucking fotch.
it. Which is great.
I'm trying to keep it PG and not curse as much because
No, of
I want the
course.
kids to watch too.
But right here, you fuck
You
that.
know,
Right here, you can curse all you want, like
yeah,
motherfucker.
no, but like I
You know,
like I said, my son, Bubba Watson, hears me curse like a sailor, so you know
you
it's
old
okay as
sailor,
long as
you.
your kids don't do it. As long as your kids don't do it, you could do whatever you want in front of them because I'm pretty sure parents curse all
Of
day.
course, 100%, 100%. Well, there you have it, folks. Zae, the motherfucking assassin, the face of GW, Global Extreme
Yes, sir.
Wrestling. Global Studios for making moves. Shout out to the Global Extreme Ballers. Shout out to Global Extreme Wrestling. Shout out to Future Extreme Wrestling. Also, shout out to GW Fight Club, hosted now by Zae The Assassin, your
Yes,
tribal
sir.
chief.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Love you, bro.
Love you too, my G. Bro, yeah, this has been an honor for having you on the show, and thank you for coming on and telling us who Zae the Assassin really is. What's your gimmick about? What's next? And what you came from, where you came from. So, what I'm saying, so you're always gonna be my bro, no matter what. Never gonna be personal. Whatever you say to me in promos and what all that, So
Yeah,
all,
yes,
all I can
sir. You
say,
already
all I
know.
can say is keep doing what you're doing. And shout out to Yelly Q. Shout out to Bubba Watson. And the whole DWO movement. You guys are killing it. You're killing it. So that's what is important. So big up to you and everybody. And again, thank you for coming on the show. This has been another episode of This and That with your host, Mr. 357, and my guest today, three-time GW Billion Dollar Champion, reigning GW Billion Dollar Champion, also two-time and reigning GW World Heavyweight Champion, Zae the motherfucking assassin.
Peace.
Peace.